Hi, everybody. Welcome. Little surprise show tonight. Didn't really plan it, but figured I was just kind of in the mood. My wife and I were talking. She said, why don't you go live? So I'm live. I'm not sure how many of you got the notification. So I really appreciate it, as always, anybody watching, but especially tonight because there was no notice at all until about 10 minutes ago. We do have some ends to tidy up because the last two shows I left several ads from each one of them, and I left them in my picture folder. So I figured, you know what? Let's go in and list some of them. So let me know if anybody's watching. Feel free to say hi, and we will go ahead for a little bit. It's already 6 o'clock, which is later than my usual listing show, but that's okay. I appreciate you guys for showing up. CJ's ready to rock. What's up, CJ? How are you? Let's go. Yeah, like I said, we're going to tidy up a little because I have a few left over from the World War I magazine from, what was it, Monday? Just a couple nights ago. And then I still have some from the 1916, I believe it was, from a week or so ago. I'll confirm that. Hey, CJ. Collier Deaton, how are you? Welcome. Hey, True Miscellany. Yeah, like I said, very impromptu. I'm talking literally 15 minutes ago. My wife said, go ahead, go on. I said, okay. So I set it up really quickly. I appreciate you guys coming out with such short notice. And Gwyneth Crow, welcome. You have to go walk the dog. It was a long, tiring day. Okay, well, let me know if you come back. I'll be on for a little bit for sure. I'm going to tidy up, get rid of some of those ads that were hanging over from last two shows. We have material to work with. I didn't even have to scan anything new. So have fun walking the dog. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Welcome. Good day to you. Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys for showing up. Did you get a notification? I'm just curious. Did you guys see the notification? I don't even know if there was enough time to get one out. But I'm pretty psyched that everybody's here. And we will absolutely go through. There she is. The lovely Mrs. Cricket, the one that said, go on, go ahead, go on live. Thank you for joining very much, honey. I appreciate it. Zipping out for a few, but hopefully be back in a bit. Okay, very cool. We will keep the light on for you, Winter Crow. Hey, Collier. Okay, you got notified. Cool. Hey, Puddings, how are you? Welcome back. You got it? Cool. Okay, everybody got a notification. Wow, that's good to know that in such a short time span. When did it go up? Like literally 10 minutes ago. I think it was 10 to 6 when I put it up. So, all right, Winter Crow, we will see you in a little bit. Winter Crow, always a great source of information when it comes to these ads as far as like identifying time period, correct clothing, and she's found some artists for me like that do some of these illustrations on these old ads. It's really cool. All right, well, let us begin with 2 or 3 minutes ago. Okay, cool. Wow. Like I said, really, I'm amazed that it's that fast that anybody saw it. So I appreciate all of you for showing up. Let me pull up my screen per usual. Your phone pinged about 20 seconds. Wow. Okay, cool. Are you watching on the phone, huh? I'm always amazed at how people watch. I've had some people say they watch on Roku on their television. A lot of people watch on their laptops or desktop. And I guess there's some people watching on their phones. That's cool too. Okay, well, what I figured we would do is let's polish off some of these remaining ads from, for those of you who were here on Monday night, we were working with a really cool issue of December of 1918 issue of Ladies' Home Journal. So it was right at the end, very extreme tail end of World War I, and it was a Christmas time issue. So it had those two huge bolo type activities going for it, and we had a good time listing some ads. I still have, I don't know, 4 or 5 left, I think, from that. So let's go in. I'll just pull any one of them up, and we'll get started on what's left. And then I have a handful left over from last week's show, which was a 1916 Collier's, I believe. It might have been McCall's. I think it was a McCall's magazine. So between the two of them, we have plenty to work with tonight. Okay, we're going to stick with the 1918 now. And let me see, we have 4 left from that one. So I'll pull up this one first. There's no real order to this stuff. Black and white, as you see, as a whole, a lot of these were back then. Hey, Bonamania, welcome. You got the message too, huh? I'm really encouraged to know that with such short notice, people got, a notification from eBay. That's very cool. Oh, excuse me, from YouTube. That's very cool to know that. I don't like to typically do this, just dump a surprise like that on people, but what the heck? We just got in the mood to do it, and my wife said, go ahead. So I threw it together. Okay. This first ad is for a company called, and here's where I wish I had some other people to help me with pronunciation. It looks like Showman Hut Toys, made in USA. And you can see at the top right, it says Ladies Home Journal, December 1918. And let me see if I can, it looks like it's out of Philadelphia, the A. Showman Hut Company. Looks like a famous toy manufacturer at the time. And sometimes what we do, like with a company like this that I'm not familiar with, you can see they were around since 1872, which means they were already around for like, 28 and 18, 40 years or so at the time of this magazine being issued at the end of 1918. But pretty cool. Look at the toys. You have real photographs there of the kids playing with some toys. Very interesting. And I'm zoomed in on this guy, so I'm just reading some of the notes that are on that with the very, very small typeface, just to see if there's anything cool we can grab from. All kinds of stuff. And at the very bottom is a little Christmas tree on this ad. So very cool ad, very of the time, I would say. You can see a lot of dolls, trucks for the boys. You have some circus figures at the bottom as well. I like it. Is anybody familiar with this company? If you are, let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. If not, we'll just do a little Wikipedia action or something like that and see what the company is all about, how long they were in existence. Sometimes we find out that they evolve into other names over time. But as of 1918, it is definitely Showman, and I want to make sure I'm spelling this right. S-C-H-O-E-N. S-C-H-O-E-N. Hut, right? Yeah. eBay doesn't like the spelling of that, but that's okay. Toys. Christmas time advertisement. I'll put this in this category, which is kind of a generic one, but it's fine. And for my own category, I will put toys. There we go. And let's fill out some specifics. We have S-C-H-O-E-N-H-U-T. Toys. Company. Black and white ad. My throat is feeling a lot better for those of you who have suffered through my sickness with me. I'm only at the point where I can speak without choking, which is always a good thing. 1918 print ad. It's not modified. It's United States. Its time frame is 1910 to 1919 because we're in 1918. All right, specifics are filled out. Now, again, let's take a look and see what we have going on with this one. Made in USA is probably a really good thing to put in as a keyword. People look for that. And underneath it says American ingenuity and innovation since 1872. I like the circus. Oh, you can see, yep, at the bottom it says Showman Hut's Humpty Dumpty Circus, greatest show on earth. 10,001 new tricks. So the Humpty Dumpty Circus is being advertised at the bottom. You can see the Christmas tree at the bottom, the kids playing with all the animals from the circus. On the left side, hey, Sarah, welcome. Very glad to see you tonight. You sold one from 1918. Cool. For toys, dolls, and a BB gun. Beautiful. Was it anything like this one? Was it a toy company, or was it just specific toys that were in your ad? Let us know. And welcome back. How have your sales been, Sarah? Have you sold any more ads aside from this one from yesterday? All right. Well, I'm going to blow this up again. And this time I'll bring it up for everybody so you can look at it with me, because there's a lot going on. And I think this view that we're looking at right here isn't really close enough to get a good grasp of all the different pieces of this ad that we want to definitely bring to the forefront. So just bear with me a second. I will share my other screen with the blown up version of this ad. And then you'll be able to read it along with me. Okay, here we go. You see that? A little bit clearer, right? Like at the top, you have this doll, and what it says underneath is showing patent steel springs with swivel connections. This thing, this doll right here, you can see the face, and I guess that's like the inner workings of the doll, the mechanism. An all wood perfection art doll. That's kind of the inners, like I said. And over here, you have the Showman Hut Toy Piano with the little girl playing the piano. Over here to the right, can you guys see my, I don't know if you could see my, yes, you can, okay. Showman Hut mold wood toys appeal to every boy's desire to know what's inside. And then down here is what I was saying about the circus. Pretty cool, the Humpty Dumpty Circus. All kinds of animals. You got some clowns. You got the barker over there. You have a horse. Very, very, very nice advertisement. These are real photos, definitely, that were just kind of superimposed into this advertisement. Catalog page. Okay. One for a week ads. Horrible sales in general. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, there you go. And that ties in. You see how right here it says since 1872. Does anybody know if, I'm assuming they're out of business just because I haven't heard of them. Maybe they aren't. I'm really not sure. One a week for ads. Okay. With how many listed? A couple of hundred, I think you said. Ads. At least you got them up, right? And the more it's like anything else, the more you have up, the more will sell. Yeah, thank you for that, Jeff. Let me know if anybody can see, what happened to this company. I'm curious. Let me pull my main screen back up. My main eBay screen, I should say. There it is. And let's think about what bankruptcy in 1935. Wow. Oh, that's sad. They did pianos and wooden dolls from 1903 to 1935. Thank you very much. Interesting. Well, 1918, it looks like they're still doing well. Thank goodness for them. Now, you notice, remember, if again, you guys that were watching a couple of nights ago, we were talking about the whole World War I aspect of this magazine as a whole. There's no reference that I see to the war or any kind of rationing or anything like that in this specific ad. So I'm going to take that out for this one because we have enough other things to mention, like that circus, the different types of, the piano. And I kind of want to reserve some of that space within the title to get those keywords in. And if we go back to the ad again, we have the dolls. I guess what are the main elements? We have the dolls, we have the circus, and the piano. I think those are probably the three. The three that we could fit in some way. You have a bunch to list. HubSpot 1963 Radio Shack. Oh, that's very cool. Yes. Yeah, list that up big time. Probably some cool record players and stereos and tape recorders, probably reel-to-reel tapes in there. That would be really cool. What do you guys think about what I was saying about the type of items within this ad? I think we're going to definitely mention the fact that they do the pianos because it looks like that was kind of like one of the big items that they sold was this piano over here. You have the all-wood doll and the Humpty Dumpty circus. I'm going to put, because I think circuses are very popular. So I'm going to put Humpty Dumpty circus in there. Put piano and wooden doll. And look at that. It pretty much covers everything right there if you just put those in. Always remembering that you don't really have to make, an actual sentence in here. You just want to put words that grab people within the title and words that will go out onto Google and, of course, eBay for people to pull in. So people search for piano, theoretically, this could come up. People search certainly for that Humpty Dumpty circus, this will come up. The company itself, Showman Hut, will come up. The only thing, all right, what I'm going to do is we're going to make use of the add custom item specific. I want to put Christmas for sure. That is the bolo of all bolos. I might put Philadelphia. It looks like this was probably a regional store out of Philadelphia. So I'm going to put that. I think the toy ad we sold had the BB guns on the back. So I list what's on the back of the catalog page too. Oh, that's cool. Okay. You're kind of selling it as a 2-page advertisement then. And then they can decide what page they want to show off, right? The front or the back. Nothing wrong with that. On period paper, they have it listed 1920, Showman Hut Toys, Walking Doll, Humpty Dumpty Circus. On period paper?
Website.
Okay.
It's called periodpaper.com. They sell ads.
Well, this is kind of how we have it laid out right now. 1918 Showman Hut Toys, Antique Print Ad, Humpty Dumpty Circus, Piano, and wooden dolls, I'll put, I guess, plural. That pretty much covers the entire title. You know, we could put Perfection Art Doll, but that won't fit. We have the Humpty Dumpty, we have the piano. This truck thing, we don't have anything to mention about it, but I think the picture's intriguing enough. You know, titles, photos, and having it in the right category is really, that's all you need. That's the absolute gist of a good listing. The other stuff could be helpful, but it's kind of fluff. The body, you know, you need a grabbing, you need a title that grabs people, you need a great photo with an interesting topic, and it has to be placed in the correct category. And if you do those 3 things right, you're going to sell. So I will go ahead and let this one go because there really isn't any more room. But I think it's a very cool ad. I think it's, like I said, very of the time. It looks period correct for sure. Like, look at the girl's hairdo. This is where Winter Crow would help out if she shows up later on. But, you know, they called the hair like a bob, I think it was. But that's not till the 20s. This is 1918. So I'm curious if they have a name. See, the girl has very short hair. That's kind of definitely a style of that time. I'm not sure what the term is. All right, we will list this one and move on to our next 1918 advertisement. We will sell similar. That was cool. It's the first time I've ever come across that company. All the ads we've listed. Supposed to show you there's lots of stuff out there. All right, in keeping with the kids theme, we have a clothing manufacturer now. Try to pull up. Pin curls, is that what it's called, CJ? Thank you for that. Pin curls. That's the girl style with that little like short hair with a little thing, right? Very cool. Good to know. In fact, so good to know. Out comes the pen. We're going to call girls hairstyle. And I'm pretty sure that went out into the 20s, right? Because even like Little Rascals, which is like late 20s, early 30s, some of them. Remember Darla? I think she had that haircut. So a girl's hair, I'll say teens through 20s. Pin curls. Thank you for that very much, CJ. It has been duly noted. All right, let's check out this next one. We have a company. It says label on garment is your guarantee of a standard fabric, fast color, and high workmanship. The company is called Macaulay and Company out of New York on Church Street. But you see the sign itself, slipover? Is it what MWS slipover for every child? And look at that, CJ. Are those girls sporting a pin curls hairdo? Yeah, but this predates Shirley Temple. She wasn't even born yet. 1918. Yeah, Jeff, the bowl cut is common too, but I think like what CJ's saying about that pin curl, if you look at the, we don't see it from the side, but they have kind of a bowl cut and then it like swoops in under their ears, the girl, like a little flip. The bowl cut is more of a traditional, like just straight across bangs and thing. But this girl, like on the right side, I think she has that style that CJ was alluding to. But Shirley Temple wasn't even born yet, 1918. So it's definitely, it's a good 15, 20 years before Shirley Temple. Okay, now, to me, the interesting thing about this is I guess the product is called a slip over, right? MWS. Because down here it says Macaulay and Company. So that's the actual company that makes the garment. And it's billed as economy clothes for children. The slip-over label backed by the MWS reputation for giving value is the guarantee that the answer to these 3 questions is yes. Is it fast color? Is it standard fabric? Are the seams strong? Yep. So we're going to say slip-over. I think that's how we're going to title it. Children's clothing. All right. I'll put, the question is going to be, should we put at this MWS? I don't know if that means anything to anyone. At the time, they were touting it as something, backed with the MWS reputation. Kid on a scooter, kid playing in the sand, it looks like, with a shovel, kids playing marbles. All things we probably want to make some sort of mention, children playing, kids playing, something along those lines. The only reason I'm being so quiet, I'm debating whether or not to put this MWS. I don't know if it applies.
Bob cut. Or it could be called the Dutch boy haircut.
Yeah, Dutch boy. Dutch boy is more of that bowl cut look. The Dutch boy.
Also called a bob when it curls.
Yeah, and the bobs were popular in the 20s. I think we talked about that one of the other shows.
Yes, that's a bob.
Just a few years before. All right, so really all we have is slip over children's clothing. For every child, what every mother knows. Sometimes what I'll do is simple as that, guys. I will literally write whatever the topic, whatever the company name is, I'll put that first, and I might put their little catchphrase, which in this case is what every mother knows. Sometimes I'll just write that for simplicity. If there is anything that jumps off the page, like this is really just kids at play, so maybe I'll put that, like kids at play, marbles, scooter. Look at that. We don't always have to overthink every one of them. Sometimes they fill in themselves, actually. Slip over. And again, what I might do is make use of our good friend, the Add Custom Specific, and I'll put MWS, because that was mentioned. And then the actual name of the company is Macaulay, right? MCCAWLUY. So I'm going to put that in there too. Macaulay and Company. This way, again, if anybody searches for any of these for whatever reason, our ad should pop up. Definitely a unique one there, though. Wouldn't you agree? You don't see this every day. Then they have at the bottom, and again, I know it's kind of difficult to see on the screen, but they have a wash basin with a washboard. They have, it says, look for the slip over label in pocket. Note carefully the strong double seam. So, durability is being touted. That's about it. So I think that's going to be that. That's it for this one. Slip over children's clothing, antique print ad, kids at play, marbles, and scooter. Alrighty, and I just want to make sure I have everything. Here's clothing. Oh, I put it in the wrong category. See, this is why you double check. Well, they don't have a clothing see the clothing category, everybody? It says 1920, 1949. This is before that. So let me look. We could use the search category. I'll put clothing 1918. There you go, everybody. Clothing, shoes, and accessories pre-1920. Well, we have clothing, shoes, and accessories, clothing pre-1920. That's what we will choose. And I'm going to have to go in now. When you change a category, you have to go in and fill out your specifics. See how they voided them all out? But that's time well spent because what I just say before, right? Photos, your title, and having it in the right category. We weren't in the right category, so this should help a lot. Let's get it in front of the people we want it in front of. Modified, and we're in 1918. Again, no mention of the war there, so we will leave that out for this one. Slip over. Let's just copy and paste that. 1918, and it is indeed an original. All right, and now we should be ready to list this one. All right, bam. That's what, 3 down really quickly. Was it 2? I think it was 2. Okay. We have a couple more of this magazine, and then we will jump back to the 1916, I think it was. And finish that one off from last week. That was the first show I had done after my cold, and I could barely speak, and I think I only did a few ads that night. Okay, here's an interesting item that we first encountered a couple of weeks back in a listing show. Turns out it's an extremely popular brand that I had never heard of, Clicko Club Ginger Ale. It has this little Eskimo boy who was, and he was the mascot of the company. And then when we were talking through this ad the last time, which by the way sold, so there wasn't a problem with it. But when we were talking through this ad, you know, it's apparently the word Eskimo now, if you use it in eBay, it's going to be dinged. So we kind of danced around it and said Alaskan boy or something to that effect. But I'm going to go back and look up what this character is called. See the guy up in the corner? He's like their mascot. And it's basically just a ginger ale company. You can see Clicko. I think it was pronounced Clicko. Again, I want to read to see if there's any mention of World War I, because all the other ads we listed on Monday, I think just about every one of them said something about the war effort or buy bonds, baby bonds, it was saying actually for World War I. And tonight, I don't see any reference in these last few ads to World War I. So let me just put CLICQUOT. Club Ginger Ale. Turns out, like I said, that little Eskimo boy was quite a popular mascot at the time. And we will put it in this category here, soda memorabilia. And I will change my internal store category to beverages. Let's fill this out quick. White. I remember what this kid's name is. You would think it would be fresh in my mind. It wasn't that long ago. We spent like a half an hour going. The other ad was a little more detailed. It had like a full body figure of him and everything. And we looked it up and we were going back and forth about the word Eskimo and should we use it and should we not use it. The Clicko boy, the little Eskimo boy.
What, his name?
Yeah, it was a famous mascot. And I danced around Eskimo. Instead of saying Eskimo, we said like Alaskan boy mascot or something silly like that, and it wound up selling without any issues.
Oh boy.
So obviously we want to mimic that. Clicko Club.
Oh, Clicko.
Oh. What the heck is this kid's name? And it's funny, a bunch of the I'm looking on eBay. There's still a lot of ads with this boy, and they all say Eskimo. We spent a lot of time debating whether or not to say Eskimo. I didn't know that that was offensive nowadays, but apparently it is.
His name was Clicko.
Yeah, and it was the Clicko boy or something. And a lot of these...
No, he was Clicko, the Eskimo boy.
Clicko, the Eskimo boy. Yep. Eskimo boy, Clicko. Every one of them say Eskimo.
It says it on Wikipedia. Was the name of the Eskimo boy mascot.
All right. An announcement about the shortage. Oh, here we go, folks. I was just saying how it makes no mention of the war. Meanwhile, the very first sentence, because of wartime necessity. There we go. Bam. So let us get our WWI in there. And I will put rations, which is what we did last time, to indicate that supplies of certain items, I guess in this case ginger ale, were limited due to rationing as a result of the war effort. Again, let me make sure I spelled this. C-L-I-C. I misspelled that. Ooh, that's not good. C-L-I-C-Q-U. Okay. World War I rations. We are content to wait until it's reasonable that we should have the sugar we need to make the ginger ale. Isn't that amazing? So they ceased operations essentially because they couldn't use the sugar. That's amazing. We are indeed glad that our soldiers and sailors, our people in their homes, and our allies abroad are going to have this sugar. One of the things. Very interesting. So they were absolutely. Hey, Rutan, how are you? Mighty Quinn, sure, absolutely. Come on without. Come on within. Welcome, Rutan. Rutan, did you get a notification? I'm checking on everybody that shows up tonight because it amazes me that I went on at 10 to 6. Well, I decided to go on at 10 to 6 completely out of the blue, and I wasn't sure if anybody was going to receive any notifications in time on YouTube, and it looks like just about everybody said they got some sort of notification as soon as like 20 seconds before I went on air. So I'm just curious if you got one, Rutan. Or if you just happened to mosey over to my channel and see that I was on. Either way, I appreciate you being here. But yeah, Rutan, weren't you part of this whole think tank we had for this kid the last time, the Eskimo boy? And we were deciding whether or not we should say Eskimo, and I did like Alaskan. We tippy-toed around it. Alaskan. I can't remember how I worded it, but it was something silly. Notification says I'm live. All right, cool. Thank you. So it does work. Indeed, it works. And Rutan, I was just looking up other Cleco boy ads. He's called Cleco the Eskimo boy. That's the mascot name. And there's a bunch of ads out there, and they all say Eskimo right in it on eBay without any kind of issues. And I remember we talked about this for like 20 minutes and came up with this silly roundabout way of naming this kid. But since this one has the World War I thing and the rationing, we might not even need to get into it. Oh, you missed the last one. Okay, I thought you were part of it. Yeah, we spent a good amount of time rooting on the other ad was a little more like this one just has the kid in the corner kind of waving. The other ad was like highlighting him. And we were like, oh, what's this? We were trying to figure out if it was an Eskimo because it made no mention to what he was. It just didn't make sense. We did some research, and sure enough, he was like a very famous mascot for this ginger ale. And then a few people like yourself were like, well, there's different terms nowadays, and you really shouldn't say that. And we were trying to figure out if eBay, like with the Aunt Jemima stuff, like if they just put the kibosh on it as a whole. And we came up with this roundabout way of saying Eskimo without saying Eskimo.
It's part of the Eskimo Club.
Yeah, or Eskimo pies, right? Well, anyway, I don't know. Like, I think we can get away with not even saying anything about him because there's enough other stuff going on. The shortage, they're announcing that they're pulling back production because of the war effort and the rationing taking place with sugar. So that's basically what this advertisement is. It's saying, hey, we're doing our part for the boys overseas. So I kind of really want to, I'll put sugar rations. Sugar rations notice, maybe something like that they're notifying the public that they are halting or, reducing the amount of product they put out. So really, that's probably about it. That's good enough for me. And there's a lot of good stuff in there around the war and everything that we don't even have to get into the kid. But I'm sure there are enough. It's almost like saying Mr. Peanut. For some reason, we don't say peanut anymore. We say tree nut. You know what I mean? It's something like that where but he's so iconic as Mr. Peanut. It's kind of like that for this. I mean, he's not at the level. The Eskimo kid is not at the level of Mr. Peanut, but I'm sure there's a handful of people that'll go out and search for this character. But hopefully just by having that Cleco in there, that should pull in some people. So I'm going to list this one too, and I think we're only down to one or two left from the 1918 magazine. That quickly. There we go. Goodbye, Clico. And then after this, I think this is the last one. After the last World War I, we'll go back to my McCall's, I think it was 1916. Still have a bunch of it. I think there was a lot of car ads too. So for you car guys and gals, we should have some fun with some very old automobiles. Yep, here's the last one from the 1918 magazine. And it's for a beloved product, Quaker Oats.
Did you say Quaker?
Yeah, I know. Can you say Quaker? I don't know. Maybe they come up with a new word. I don't know. It's like that with almost everything. It's unbelievable. Costly foods cannot compare with Quaker Oats in value. So again, we're getting back to the whole rationing concept and conservation of goods and conversation, especially like wheat products and sugar products, apparently oat as well. And just like last time, let me blow this one up and we'll take a look together at this one so we could read some of the material within because it's very small. And that will just take one moment to do. Hi, everybody. Let's share the blown up version. And this is a quarter page ad, I believe. Yep, quarter page. So it's still the full 16 inches long, but it's only like 3 or 4 inches wide. There we go. That's the full one. So you can see lady is shopping, putting steak on a scale. So they're trying to get across the fact that it says cost of 1,000 calories, and they have a bunch of food products broken down and saying that 1,000 calories of nutrition can be gotten for only 5 cents if you buy Quaker Oats, as opposed to 41 cents for a steak and 78 cents for cod. That's crazy. Cod is the most expensive item on here per 1,000 calories anyway. But yeah, again, the assumption is that they are talking about rations or something, but let's make sure that's true because I don't really see that. It says measure your food by calories, the energy unit which our government adapts. Okay. The average man at work needs 3,000 calories a day. A boy of 10 needs 1,800. The problem today is to meet those needs at not too high of a cost. This is how Quaker Oats compare with the foods, and that's where they have the little comparison between steaks and other products. Meat foods cost from 8 to 10 times what that of Quaker Oats for every calorie unit. And nearly every food you use costs vastly more than oats. So they're just really touting the amazing value of buying Quaker Oats. But unless I'm incorrect, does anybody see any reference? Yeah, butcher scale. Very good, Rutan. Thank you. Does anybody see any reference to war efforts or rationing? I think this is just kind of saying that they're cheap, much more economical. I don't see anything about the war, which is acceptable. It's a shame because we were really using that to our advantage for marketing it, but that's okay. That was the last one. And for anybody who was on Monday night, you saw we had a bunch of very cool World War I advertisements from this magazine. So I'm happy, very happy with that. All right, let us go to Quaker Oats. Bruton very coolly says butcher scale. Quaker Oats. I'm going to take out World War I because I don't see any. Although we could always rely on. We did this the other night. You could write World War I era because it's certainly that. But I don't even think I'll need to do that this time. Put it in my food category internally. And let's hit search. And you can see right here we have Quaker has its own category, which makes things very simple. There we go. Quaker, original. United States, theme is cereal, modified no. Print ad. And 1918. And we have a black and white advertisement. That's how quickly we can get through all of these not recommended, required specifics. Okay. This one we will tweak a little because the size is it's 16 inches tall by probably 3 inches wide. And advertising, right, everybody? I do like the butcher scale thing a lot. Butcher's scale. Not really much else in the photo at all, is there? Not photo, the illustration. It's just you're right, a butcher scale with steak on it. So there's also some recipes at the bottom. Quaker Oat muffins, Quaker Oat pancakes, and Quaker Oat bread. I'll put costly foods. Calorie costs. No, we already have costs now. Calories. Yeah, there are recipes written. Absolutely. 3 of them. You might have written that right before I said it, but yeah, we have bread, muffins, and pancake recipes at the bottom. So that's definitely noteworthy. Costly foods. What do we have? Pancake, bread, and what? Muffin. I'll put muffin recipe. That pretty much fills out the rest of them. Alrighty. And well, boys and girls, that will conclude the Ladies Home Journal 1918 already. We finished that off quickly. I thought we'd have a little more time to discuss them, but they're pretty cut and dry. So I'm going to also reduce the price of this because it's a little smaller. We'll go back to my regular $15. Alrighty. Bam. And now what I will do, let me just see how I worded. We're going to go back to the 1916, I believe it was McCall's magazine, and finish off those. That has a bunch of really cool car ads left. Oh, rooting, that's awesome. Yeah, reel to reel. That's what I had said, right? Reel to reel, like a tape recorder, transistors. Very cool. You should have a ball with that one, man. Absolute ball. Where'd you get that? Was that a one-off thing you purchased, or was it like part of a bundle of other things you picked up? Let me quickly.
He's on the line, Dad.
Hold on a second, guys.
Okay. No, I don't want you opening the door.
Let me pull this up, guys.
Thank you.
That's really good stuff. Let me know, Rootin. What did you pick that up as a one-off? Oh, you just wrote again. I'm sorry. Here we go. You found in a box of stuff we got last year. Always saucious. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yep. The death pile video, the infamous going through your death pile. And a bunch of people have done videos like that. I made $10,000 off of my basement floor. I actually want to see some of that stuff. Send me, if you guys don't mind, send me some scans. I promise I'm not going to list them. They're your ads, but I would love to see some of that. If you guys would email me, JimmyFlip at Gmail. I would love to just see them just for myself to check out some of the cool stuff in that, if you don't mind. Send me an email with some of those scans. I guarantee you'll sell that stuff pretty quickly. Okay, I just want to see how I worded those 1916 ads, because it was about a week ago, I think. 1916. Let's see. Yeah, the 27th, I think. April 27th. All right, so it was... Oh, was it Collier's? I thought it was McCall's. Hold on. Let me make sure. It was Collier's. Okay. So we have a 1916. Let me get the year correct, too. I mean, excuse me, the month correct. May 1916 Collier's magazine. So let me go in, and we will update our draft here. Down here. You see how I have the month, year, and the name of the magazine. We'll change this through the miracle of copy and paste to the May 1916 edition of Collier's Weekly Magazine. Beautiful. And then what's the other thing? COL. I have an internal, like on my SKU, COL for Collier's, and it was the third, it looks like, the third magazine that we worked on. So Collier's 3 is where I will find these guys. And most of these, I'm pretty sure, are car ads, which I'm sure will please a lot of people out there, because these are some, 1916 cars. Kind of cool. Let me see how many car ads we have. 1, 2, 3. like 4 or 5 car ads and a couple that aren't car ads. Let's do the ones that aren't car ads first, just because we're going to have a slew of them coming at the end. And not just all cars. It looks like we have a tire ad and a car battery ad, which is kind of cool. So let's pull this one up first. This is for a tobacco, it looks like. Velvet Tobacco. A couple of gentlemen down there. What do we see? Hopefully you can see this. Railroad tracks. We love railroad stuff. Love the railroad stuff. We have a railroad track. We have 2 gentlemen smoking a pipe. And we have a company called Velvet Tobacco. Tobacco and cigarette ads sell extremely well. Just so everybody knows, Velvet Tobacco. Put that in, and I'm curious to see what pops up as far as a category. And you can see right out of the gate, if you type any cigarette brand, Camel, Kent, whatever, and you put it in, there's a category that just simply says cigarettes, and it's extremely cut and dry. You just sold a lot of those tins. They still make, oh, very cool, Rutan, really. Did you get some good money for the tins? Are they like that old? Or are they newer? That's awesome, though. Category-wise is what I was going to get at. You see this collectibles Tobacciana? Is it Tobacciana or Tabacciana? I'm not sure. It's probably Tobacciana. Tobacciana is, my understanding is, all things pertaining to tobacco. So cigarettes could theoretically be in there, cigars, pipes, and the like. But again, my only hesitation with putting something like this in that category is, and this is, maybe I'll just pull up a little Google search. Let's look at exactly what the word means. Because this is an advertisement, as we know, obviously. And being an advertisement, if you put an advertisement into a category that sells the item proper, once in a blue moon, like I've talked about a few times, I had one person yell at me about a typewriter ad that I put in a typewriter category. You're misleading us. We thought this was a typewriter for $10, a sheet of paper. Come on. But the point was taken by me, and I said, okay, if that one person was confused, maybe it wasn't a one-off. Maybe I need to rethink this whole idea of putting things. I want to make sure. Oh, I'm probably going to root, and I'm going to get into that. But I'm trying to get to the correct category to put this in because of prior experience with some issues of putting a product into an advertisement for a product into a proper product category. Like in this instance, if I put it in, like let's say there was a category that said pipes. If I put it in the pipes category, there's going to be some idiot that says this isn't a pipe. You have a different category for that. So I'm looking up as Tobacciana for some sort of a definition to see if it would be applicable for this specific ad. Let me put Tobacciana definition. Anything related to tobacco companies and their products. Tobacco advertising and memorabilia has been one of the most desirable collector categories for many years. So there we go. That's right out of the Google. So I think I've gotten the blessing from the Google, and we will keep it in here. And if anybody comes at me, I'll get rooting after them. All right, so that takes care of that. Yes, we will put it in this Tobacciana category. I think that's where it belongs. And you can see it has a fairly limited amount of specifics, which is kind of cool. The brand will be, what was the brand again? Velvet. Hey, Rutan, how old were the tins you sold? Like, see how it says handmade here? No, not modified. And United States. So that's a very, very easy amount of specifics to put in. Very manageable. This one also, it's not 16 inches long. No, this one's probably like 11. Measurements, again, I like to be accurate with the measurements. I'm going to put this back up to 19. 40s and 50s, very cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put pipe tobacco in there. You're right. But just take a look at the ad really quickly. Take advantage of every opportunity of an old man of your success and taste sweet a pipe full of velvet. Velvet Joe. Velvet Success's pipe tobacco is due to its makers taking advantage of every opportunity to make it the sort of smoke smokers want most. All right. And I love the whole, the railroad element. Hey, Cap Guy's here. Always talking music, right? Bobby Vinton. Anybody who sells records on eBay will know all too well the Bobby Vinton records. I have a stack of Bobby Vinton records that I can't give away, and it's a sin. He's still alive, made a lot of music, had some hits. I'm trying to sell like a lot of literally 50 Bobby Vinton records, and I can't get rid of them. Guy drives me nuts. It's the bane of all record sellers. Whenever you see a Bobby Vinton record, run. Don't pick it up. You might think, oh, it's so cheap, I'll make money. Nobody buys Bobby Vinton records anymore. But hey, Bobby, welcome. Glad you're around. Bobby, you missed some cool. When a Crow is back. Hey. You're tired, you're hungry, and you hurt, right? Was that the line? Bobby, this is a 1916 magazine we're taking apart, but if you probably missed on Monday night, I was on for a while, and we had a 1918 World War I. It was December of 1918, the very last month of World War I. It actually ended in November, but it had gone to print. So we had a Christmas magazine from 1918, Ladies Home Journal. Really, really cool. We just finished listing that a few minutes ago. And now we're back to a 1916 Collier's. All his songs were either blue or lonely. Yeah, exactly, Rootin'. Maybe that's why nobody wants them. Velvet. Yes, and Cranky. Yeah, Mr. Lonely, exactly. Kind of like Roy Orbison, right? Crying, losing you. It's always I'm crying, I'm losing you. Pretty Woman's the only upbeat song I think he ever wrote. I'm a big fan of Roy Orbison, by the way, but Cranky like a Model T. All right. Well, anyway, let's take a look again, guys. Velvet. Yes. And Rootin has said this 5 times. So let me fix this. We're going to put pipe tobacco for clarification. We are most definitely putting the magical word railroad. I'm going to put railroad tracks. They're definitely at a railroad station. Pull the picture back up for everybody. They are hanging out at a railroad station. I'm trying to see what else is going on back there. Not much. They're on a railroad station. Older guy, younger guy hanging out. Oh, and just so we all know, this is called Kentucky Burley, Burley tobacco. Maybe that is something we should throw in there. Ooh, are they wearing, what are they called? Homburg hats? This guy, the older guy, almost looks like he's probably back from the Old West or something, like 1870s looking guy. With some young guy who look a little more dapper. Depot, huh? Train depot? I think it's just a station, CJ. It looks like they're just on the platform of a station. Railroad tracks. Maybe I'll put train station. Because railroad and train are 2 different words, but it gets walrus mustache. Yeah. What is that hat? You said we were saying, Rootin? Homburg? Homburg? Certainly looks like them. Look at Rootin coming through with some killer Homburg. Yeah, not Hamburg. Beatles. Homburg. If we could fit even just that Homburg. Rootin. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is a title. Velvet Pipe Tobacco Antique Print Ad, Railroad Tracks, Train Station, Homburg. Is that not awesome? He doesn't have to yell it for him. I see what he wrote. I'm not blind yet. Tobacco ads. This is a groovy looking ad. I predict this will sell in short order. Railroads, love to have the whole. Yeah, I think so, Rootin, right? That's a heck of a title right there. Yeah, absolutely. What a crow. It's one of those thin, like quarter-page ones. We already finished all the 1918 ads, What a crow, while you were out walking the dog. There was only like 4 of them. We plowed through them pretty quickly. So now we're back to one we worked on last week. I think it was the end of April, maybe about a week and a half ago, and it was from 1916. In the chat, it looks like RN. That's the ad, Winter Crow. Can you see it? Looks good. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we really maxed out on keywords. That's a fantastic job right there. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. Well, let's let this one rip. We'll get rid of the precious few that are not car ads first, and then we'll dive into the car ads for the remainder of the show. Create similar. Needless to say, if you see railroad tracks, if you see railroad cars, if you see railroad crossings, anything of that nature, in an advertisement of any kind, throw that word in, throw in railroad, throw in railroadiana. They have a word just like Tabaciana, railroadiana, all things collectible with railroads. People dig railroads. Highly collectible. Okay. And let me see if was there another one that was not a car ad? I could have sworn. Yes. Pull this one up. What is this for? Oh, National Cash Register Company. Didn't we have one of these, ladies and gentlemen? For those of you who have seen several shows. It's a different one, but the same company. They make cash registers, and they were talking about the innovation of the fact that it was like the innovation was the fact that you could see that the customer could see a screen or something that shows what the price was. I think that's what it was on that old one. Anyway, this is called National Cash Register Company from Dayton, Ohio. It's kind of speaking to the merchants. And then at the top, this a little graphic there. The store that deals in friendliness. Yeah, we did, right, Rutan? As a matter of fact, let me pull that one up. I don't think that's sold yet. Yet. And let me see how we, like what category put that in. NCR. And we did it on April 25th. It's still out there. 65 views, though. Had Uncle Sam on there, too. What category did we put this in? What category? There was actually a collectibles section called Registers and Vending Cash Registers. So we will certainly mirror this. Very cool. All right. So the category is called Registers, and it's collectibles, banks, registers and vending, cash registers is where we had the other one. So we will do the same for this one. I'll put NCR. Actually, we spelled out National Cash Register. So let's do the same thing because I want to see if it prompts us to put the same category in there. I don't have to go searching for it. Okay, let's see what this does. Here we go. Banks, registers, and vending cash registers. Cool. And then store category. What did I have this in? Computing and technology. Okay. All right. Brand is NCR. National Cash Register. Look at how simple this is, everybody. Hardly any specifics to put in. That's it. That is it. All right, let's get now. This is a full page ad. So let me see what the dimensions were on this one. 15 by 11. 15 by 11. Nice size. Highly frameable. As all these things really are. But especially some of the bigger ones, they look fantastic. How's the 10% promotion? Oh, the promoted listings? Fine. I've left it up there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I guess now since I told you about it. Sales are rolling in, so I'm not going to change it. I might go down again over time, but I don't mind. Not all of them, thankfully, not all of them sell with promoted. So were you going to ask about the 10% also, CJ? Yeah, it seems to be, it's been consistent. Sales have been consistent across the board and definitely with the print ads. And I did it initially just to see if I would get like a big bump. I guess that's what you guys are asking, obviously. I haven't seen a big bump, but like I said, I don't see any. I would say probably about half of the ads have the promoted tie-in and half don't. So I might go back down and see what I've seen a lot of videos about. I saw Don's extensive. I don't know, was that on YouTube or Patreon? I don't want to give anything out of school here, but I'll say anything out of school. But I know he did a whole extensive research piece on promoted and how easy it is to hide, not just by using those ad blockers, but within eBay, if you sort your search by like newly listed, last listed, price, it kind of wipes out any ability for eBay to promote your ad. So that's a whole other kit and caboodle topic about to promote or not to promote. That's cool, CJ. And if you did initially, like, did you see a drop off at first when you went away from them? I'm just curious. And what do you sell primarily? Are you all over the board? Do you have a specialty that you're selling? I know it's kind of a heated topic, but it's okay. It's what we do, right? All right. Well, this one, much like the other one, there really isn't that much to say. It's mostly wording. And then we have this little kind of a silhouette style graphic at the top that's supposed to be a lady in a store. Winnie Crow, anything? Feather in her cap, obviously, right? You're a mess. Oh no. What do you mean you're a mess? You're a mess, meaning no sales? And do you attribute it to getting rid of promoted or not? Winnie Crow, what are we looking at here with this lady? Anything noteworthy for this chick with the feather in her cap? Oh, you go, but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Listing is the only way I know, matter of factly, to keep activity going is to list. Then again, if you only have like a couple of hundred items in your store and they're all worth $1,000, I guess maybe they think, hey, yeah, I don't need to list. Not a lot to go on with it. Yeah, I agree, Rutan. There really isn't. Thank God we spelled out National Cash Register Company, because look at how many characters that kind of fills out on our title. We still got 32. I hate to leave that many empty on the board, though. So let me just, and I said this earlier, but I might even just literally write the store that deals in friendliness. I don't even know if we could fit that. Store that deals in friendliness. There you go. Right to 0. Yeah, NCR. I'll put that in. You see it's in the brand already, Rutan? It's in the brand on the item specific, so I don't think I need to put that in the title again. Shopping shoppers, yeah. That's good enough. Look at that. It actually fills it out to 0. Point of sale is cool too, yes. I like point of sale. I'll put that as a custom. Yeah, I think the brand is fine. And we have it spelled out up here, National Cash Register Company. Yeah, not the most graphically exciting ad, though. I admit that. It's mostly just wording, a little graphic of the actual product in the corner, a strange silhouette thing of some sort of point of sale in a store, an unknown store. So let's list this one and move on, shall we? But there's our second National Cash Register advertisement. Alrighty. Okay, I think that takes us to a bunch of 1916 automobile-related advertisements. Usually give us more to talk about and more to put in titles, generally speaking. Let's see if that holds true with these remaining ads. All right. This is kind of cool. Did I list this already? Hold on. I want to make sure I didn't list something and double list it. I might have just forgotten to take away the photo. Nope, I did not. Okay, cool. Check this out, everybody. This is a 1916 car battery advertisement. Columbia batteries. Look at those. That's actually for your car. Bless you.
Thank you.
Used for general ignition. You see that, everybody? It says igniter, dry cell, for blasting, for your hand lamp, for your telephone, for all battery purposes, for your boys' toys, for your doorbells, for your automobiles, for your office, for your motorboat. Isn't that wild? Winter Crow talking decapitation. It was just a matter of time, but hold on. Winter Crow bringing in, decapitation and whatnot. Hanged and quartered. Little Rip happens to have the last words of one of my ancestors who was hanged. Oh my God. Winter Crow writes, let her rip. I have my little thing now is let her rip at the end of a thing. Like, let her rip. That's become the little catchphrase we're doing. Winter Crow chimes in with, let her rip happens to have been the last word of one of my ancestors who was hanged and decapitated. You might want to expound upon that comment if at all possible, Winter Crow. I'm curious to hear who would that ancestor be, and was it a just punishment?
You have to ask Winter Crow if she has any caskets, little caskets.
Does Winter Crow have any caskets? Winter Crow has a full casket in her home, I believe.
Want a big casket, just a
mini caskets.
Mini casket.
The rope pulled his head off. Yeah, that's poor use of the hanging apparatus right there.
Oh,
of the gallows pole. Means it was too high, right? If they fall too, it's actually a science to that. You could rip their head off. And if it's too short, you don't kill them. Well, anyway, this is a wild looking ad. Look at these batteries. I love the fact that they're so multi-purpose that they literally can work in your vehicle as a car battery at that point, or in your kids' toys. It says for your doorbell, for your office, burners, for blasting, for your telephone. Telephone needed batteries, folks. I like this one a lot. I really like this ad. I think it's incredibly unique. Put it in Columbia. Does Columbia still make batteries? Does anybody know? Sarah, why are you so quiet? Where's Sarah? Rootin, talk off. For blasting, you notice that, Rootin, huh? Blasting what? There's gold in them narils. All right. Columbia batteries. Let's see what comes up with that. I'm curious. Yeah, we'll throw it in the automobile bucket. For blasting and boys' toys. One and the same. Yeah, read all these, everybody. For your boys' toys, for your doorbells, for your automobile, for your motorboat, for your office burners, for your hand lamp, vis-a-vis flashlight, I would guess, for blasting, for your telephone, for all battery purposes. Then they have a pretty wild little graphic down here of a guy and a little boy staring at a giant battery on the horizon of a cityscape with an automobile to the right.
Baby.
Hey, congratulations, Davy Crockett Bowl. An authentic, like, 50s Davy Crockett from TV. Disney's Davy Crockett. Yes, Winter Crow, we have a request here. I'm sure you could find one of these somewhere.
I was going to say, for the life of me, can't find one. But
That's funny. She can't find one for the life of her, Winter Crow. Congratulations, Sarah. That's awesome. And Rootin. Big bucks. Did you make some money? You could talk numbers with us. Winter Crow is coming back with some information for you.
Yay.
What do you think, everybody? This is a pretty crazy ad, isn't it? I like it a lot. I like the way they look. This is not your Ever Ready here or your Duracell. I wonder how long they lasted. Oh, Rootin with some information. National Carbon Company became Union Carbide that makes Eveready. Okay, cool. Is that, well, hold on, is that affiliated with our ad here, Columbia? National Carbon. So this is an ancestor of the Eveready, huh? That's phenomenal. I'm thinking we got to put that in there. What do you think? Let me say Sarah's got some numbers. Hold on. Bought it for 25 cents and a plate was 50 cents, sold it for 25. I'll take that kind of return every day for the rest of my life. Great job. Yeah, it's an early Eveready when across. Look at this. We got Rootin doing some hardcore research. Eveready has one R and I put two like an idiot. So let's fix that. Eveready. Anything else? What else do you guys see that we should cost no more, last longer? That's a little slogan.
It comes back to hanging and casket request.
What, Jeff said that? Oh, you came back? You walked it? Yeah, you never know what you might walk in on, Jeff. We had Kotex conversations a few days ago, too. That came in. We had Kotex. We run the gamut here. All right, Sarah. See you in a little bit. If you're able to come back, please do. If not, congratulations, and I'll see you later. And please send me some pictures of the Radio Shack ad. I would love to see that. Email me, jiminyflipit@gmail.com. All right, so we found out, thanks to Rootin here, that this is a predecessor of the Eveready battery for all battery purposes. Maybe I'll put that, for all battery purposes. This way we're not using the same word twice. We have batteries, plural, and battery, singular. I kind of like that. That is a groovy looking ad. Can you guys see at the bottom? It's kind of funny. Like I said, it's a father and son are looking across like a river at a city skyline. And in the middle, they have a gigantic battery. Dry cell, yes. I won't be able to fit that. Dry cells. I think that I agree. That's better than dry cell. Insist if necessary. I like that too. Want to call again, coming back with some details about your request for a small casket, my beloved?
Ooh, I'm going to look it up.
Yes, it certainly is, you know. And has that sentence ever been uttered in the history of humanity?
Nope.
A phallic battery scape. Does number 6 mean 6 volt? Good question. Let me see if the text of this ad says anything about that. Or if somebody just wants to go ahead and search on that. It does say at the very, very bottom, under the little vehicle, at the extreme bottom of this ad, it says convenient Fahenstock, Fahnes, Fahenstock spring clip fasteners in place of binding posts, if preferred, at no extra charge. So you had a choice of fasteners for the battery, the top, the clip part. Does it say anything about 6? That was a good question posed by Rootin. What rings your doorbell? Columbia's. What turns the toys? Columbia's. What runs the gas engine, the auto, the truck, the tractor, the motorboat? Columbia's. For every battery service under the sun, Columbia's are chosen by the battery wise. They're packed with vigor. They make things go. They're steady. They're uniform. They're faithful. And though they cost no more, they last longer. Our reputation, our name on every battery protects you. Doesn't say anything about the 6 we got a patent pending. We got national. What about National Carbon Company? Maybe should I write that? National Carbon Co. What do you think about that? This way we kind of have everything. We got Columbia, we have National Carbon Co., which became Everready, and they're all kind of in the same sentence. Yeah, we don't. Good point, Winnie Crow. Yeah, we want to avoid that. Looks good, Rutan. Cool. Thank you for your help on this one. I like that. I like that one. Oh, how about we fill out some specifics? What do you say? Printed 1916 now, right? Black and white. I'm going to put NA because we're not dealing with an actual vehicle. Model NA. We're not dealing with an actual vehicle. Original, not modified. 1916. There we go. Country, US of A. 15 by 11. It's a cool ad. Thank you, Winnicrow. Yeah, let's let it rip. It's funny, but I've dealt with these ads for a few years now. Coming up with a whole bunch of companies and things that I've never seen before, like that Clico Club kid. All of a sudden, he's all over the place. Never seen one before last week. This company, never heard of. That toy company that we saw from Philadelphia, never heard of. This is from Collier's magazine from May of 1916. And we have a bunch of car-related ads that I had left from one of the shows we did, I think about a week ago with this magazine. We banged out a lot of them, but we didn't finish, so I left it in hopes of revisit. This is like a cleanup show. We finished off the 1918s at the beginning of the show, and now we're finishing off these 1916s, which leaves us with I think there was like 15 ads between the two. It's kind of cool. So I didn't have to break up a new one to show everybody tonight. While we're talking batteries, we have competition for the Columbias. The X-Side. Look at that car battery, ladies and gentlemen. Starting and lighting battery for automobiles. A unit seal battery. Every cell a separate sealed unit. It's saving American motorists hundreds of dollars every year. So this is a unit sealed battery, which might have been an innovation at the time. I don't know. We have some sort of statue of a guy down here. Yes, that's true. Collier's is a almost like a like it's Collier's Weekly. I think it almost looks like a brochure more than a magazine. Like it doesn't really have that many ads. It has, not that many. It doesn't have that many stories in it like the Ladies Home Journal might have, or certainly Life. It's more product driven and things like this, mostly advertisements and things like that. So you're right. What is the figure? I don't know. It looks like a guy. It looks almost like the giant that lives in a box, actually, is what it says. That would be the giant that lives in a box. The X-Side giant. The big thing, because we just saw how the regular dry cell batteries we use to power cars, apparently this thing, the fact that it's a unit seal battery, looks like it makes it kind of special. The Electric Storage Battery Company. It just says a giant, guys. I'm not sure. It looks like I was going to say he looks like Tarzan. Like he has like shorts on. I'll blow this up so you can see. We'll take a look together. Just a second. I'll take that one down and we'll look at the big blown up version so we could try to figure out who the heck this guy is and what he's doing on a battery ad. There we go. There he is. See him? The giant that lives in a box. That's who that is. It also looks like Exide, EXIDE. It says Exide depots and service stations throughout the country. Let us send you a list of them. They had a, here we go, True Miscellany banging out a little factoid. Hold on, pull that up. I saw the Tarzan shorts too, Rutan. Exide factory in Fort Smith, Arkansas, still in operation. Okay, wow, very cool. There you go. And it looks like you see the bottom right of the ad, guys, where it says "Look for this sign." It looks like they were a service station or something. Are they still a service station, True Miscellany? Yeah, he's a strong man. But I thought we had the Tarzan shorts going. The loincloth or whatever you call it. Yeah, we'll just go strong man. He says the giant that lives in a box. I guess, powerful battery. Let me show you the top of the ad too. So you see the little figures of the two vehicles down there, right? With going to the service station. And here's the top of the ad with the unit seal battery. You can see it kind of looks like a modern car battery. At least the bottom does, but I don't know what this top part means or what that does. But you see it has like the two terminals. Looks pretty fancy. Starting and lighting battery for automobiles. And you can see right here, like we talked about for the last couple of magazines, it looks like every page for these magazines at this time has a header on there, and it says Collier's from May 27th, 1916. Just 2 days before the birth of John F. Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. Unit seal battery. All right, let's bring back the screen, the main screen. Got a lot to work with, everybody. So we will go with the Exide. Car battery. And let's see where that prompts us to go category-wise. Same thing. Other American automobile, that's fine. So let's just change. That makes it easy. We'll just change the product name from, what was the other one? The heck was the other one? Columbia. Oh, it doesn't even prompt us for a name. Okay, that makes this really simple. We don't have to change anything. Look at that. Everything is the same. Black and white, 1916, original. Okay. So that just leaves us with, thank you, Winnicrow. I know, don't we? We all do collectively. It's amazing. All right, it's a unit seal battery, which again seems to be a big deal. Unit seal, right? Maybe should I put something? Do we acknowledge this giant? It kind of has to be acknowledged, doesn't it? Yeah, even the border is kind of funky. You're right. It almost looks like stones or something, like little blobs. I don't know if they're stones or just like, I don't know. It's a wild ad though, isn't it? 1916. Think about that. Well, we have the electric storage battery company, and we have this giant to contend with. So where would you guys place those two elements of this ad into the title? I'm thinking so too. Winnicrow, exactly. He said, remember I was saying, look at the, with the exception of like where his hand is at the top, that extra part at the top, the rest of it pretty much looks like a battery, right? It's a square rectangle shape with the terminals at the top that look pretty modern. Hey, a deal finder, welcome, welcome. Giant in a box seems like a motto. Yeah. All right, so let's go with that. The giant that lives in a box is the full thing, which is just hysterical. Lives, and I think that's going to be the end of the title. To the T. Hi, deal finder. Welcome, welcome. Glad you have joined us. I don't know if you're listening for a bit and just chiming in, but we're working tonight, right now, with a 1916 magazine, Collier's Weekly, from May of 1916, and we have a few ads left, mostly car related now. I think that's it, Winnicrow. 1916 Exide car battery antique print ad, unit seal, the giant that lives in a box, and that takes us to all 40 characters. Again, one of those ads that I think will just kind of sell simply by the photo. No, not the photo, but you know what I mean? The whole graphic of it is intriguing. From the font that they use for the word Exide to the strange Tarzan-like giant in the corner to just the novelty of a car battery from 1916. When do you ever see that? Meanwhile, we have two in a row. Two ads in a row with car batteries from 1916. So let's let this one rip, and we'll see what we got left. We only have a few left. Oh, Deal Finder, welcome. Yeah, it was actually on Monday, I think, right? We took last night off, and tonight was an impromptu, very impromptu show. At 10 to 6, my wife said, why don't you go do a show tonight? And I said, okay. It was kind of the mop-up show. We would get rid of whatever ads I didn't hit in the last two shows. So it's worked out really well. All right. We only have a few left. They're not going to sell if they're sitting in a shelf in your basement, right? So get them up. All up. That was really cool. Okay. Let's see. How about we'll pull up a car tire ad? And Deal Finder, I've asked everybody pretty much this question tonight. And again, apologies if you might have been watching for an hour and just started writing. I'm not sure. But were you notified of the show? I just wanted to know because I set it up on YouTube at 10 to 6, I think, or 12 minutes to 6 for a 6 o'clock show. And I wasn't sure how many people, if anybody, was going to see a notification. But everybody I've asked actually received a notification from YouTube really quickly. That's good to know from my perspective that I don't want to do this all the time, like pop on as a surprise, but it's good to know that if I choose to, that everybody will get a notification. Well, check this out, guys. We're going to call upon our dog experts. Is that a greyhound up there? I'm not really sure. Maybe we could read a little more into it, but we have a dog up there. We have what looks like a bicycle tire, but actually it is a automobile tire from circa 1916. Deal Finder, you did not get a notification. Okay. Here we go. Jeff with some fun facts. Greyhound. Okay, cool. Exide battery provided the submerged. Ooh, that is a very exciting fact. Thank you, Jeff. Wilkin Greyhound rooting. Yeah, we will examine the canine up close. I guarantee it. Deal Finder did not get a notification. Do you have, assuming you're a subscriber, and if you're not, please subscribe, Deal Finder. But if you are subscribed, do you have your notification bell icon hit on my channel? Because that's the way that everybody should get notified when I go on live. But again, I just thought because it was such a small time span between when I put it up and then we went live, I thought, oh, nobody's going to get any notifications. Thank you, Deal Finder. I appreciate it. Yeah, just make sure, check to see that you hit the bell icon notification on my channel. And thank you very much for coming in. Uh-oh, we have a rare dog, says Winnie Crow. Shall we pull this one up? A larger view of this? I think we shall. Certain ads require a more thorough investigation than others. So we will pull this one up now. Let me make it large on my screen first, and then I will show everybody. Because now we got Winnie Crow saying we have a rare breed of dog up here. And if that's the case, hey, maybe that's a selling point, right? Something to market. Okay, let's share the blown up version. And here we go. All right, there's a big blow up of the dog. What do we got going on here? Fully pneumatic Diamond Tires is the brand. The dog has like a, I mean, I don't proclaim to be a dog expert and certainly not a greyhound expert. Don't greyhounds like have a little bit of a thinner snout, and they don't usually have that line down the middle?
That's a greyhound.
Red sidewalls. Ooh. Oh, you're joking. Okay. Don't joke like that amongst amateurs like us, Winnie Crow. But anyway, yeah, it probably is a Greyhound, right? Speed. You would think they're trying to imply that they make the car go fast, something to that effect. Squeegee Diamond squeegee non-skid tires, velvet rubber. Look at this, the greatest tires ever. It's funny, I deal with car ads and tire ads from the turn of the century up till 1982, and every one of them says to be the safest, best tire. It never changes. They keep improving, but they're always the best. More net motor power from the same motor, more miles per gallon of gasoline, less wear and tear on the mechanism of your car and its occupants. That's always a good thing. With a smooth, velvet-like ride. Could you imagine getting in one of these cars today? How uncomfortable they must have been. I don't even think they had shock absorbers yet. Pneumatic tires. Yeah, doesn't it say that in the ad? Bruton. Google Lens says that's a Greyhound. All right, CJ, thank you very much for confirming. We're going to go Greyhound, all right? Squeegee, I know. All right, let me pull up the main ad again. And we will share my listing screen. There it is. Now I will acknowledge, do you see a little smudge action going on over here? Not the cleanest ads. You notice most of my ads are all but pristine. This one kind of, if you look under the Greyhound, got a little smudge in action. I'm going to be honest and obviously indicate that that is a little bit of smudge. The Greyhound seems arbitrary. Yes, I know it does. Like I said, I don't know if it's supposed to imply some sort of, speed, but let's get the basics going. We are dealing with diamond tires. It's probably going to be in other. Here we go. Other tire advertisement. That works fine with me. And then we'll just have to put in the brand of diamonds. Diamond singular, United States, not modified, 1916. Black and white with bonus smudges. Original 1916 smudges. That'll sell it. Ad. Original. So here we go with the honesty in advertising. Some smudges refer to detailed scan. Okay, being honest. Because I would expect the same if I was buying. Do I clean my paper? Deal Finder, I have never had to. And I highly suggest that not highly suggest, I would warn against doing such a thing with a 100-year-old piece of paper. I'm sure I would make it far worse than it is now. It's just like, it doesn't even look as bad as it looks in the scan. The scan is kind of really highlighting the smudge. It's just like a little bit of, I don't know if it looks almost like fingerprints of ink. So long way around that is no, I wouldn't clean anything. 99.9999% of the ads I have listed are already very clean. And if there's any type of flaw at all, I'll point it out. But usually I don't have to. This is one instance where I just, it's obvious, especially because it's a mostly white sheet of paper. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb when you see black smudges on there. Hopefully it doesn't detract too much from the ad itself to somebody that might be looking for something. This is unique. I mean, this is a 100-year-old car tire ad with a short-necked Greyhound. Speaking of Greyhound, got to put the Greyhound in there, right?
It is definitely a Greyhound.
That's good to know. Thank you. Greyhound, which again will attract your Greyhound people, your dog people in general, your Greyhound people specifically. I think we got to put squeegee non-skid, right? I spelled squeegee right? That was a mistake. Squeegee. Just one E. It's funny. Now it's, oh yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Deal Finder with some information. Hold on. You bought some stuff for cleaning paper. It's what museums use. Create. Wow. Very cool. Is it a chemical of some kind that you put on? I've never had to work with anything dirty enough to warrant buying some sort of solution to clean it, but It's great to know that it exists. And if you want to expand on that, I'd love to hear more about it, Deal Finder. And would it do the trick on something like this where there's some ink smudges, or it looks like ink smudges? Any other words anybody could think of to throw in here? Oh, well, the red sides. Who said that? Rutan or CJ? Like instead of white wall tires, this is like red. That's fantastic. Yeah, I've never seen a video like that either, Deal Finder. Old paper products. I have to clean up postcards, sheet music, and such. Sheet music, I have a lot of sheet music, and same thing, I haven't had to clean it. Cleaning paper scares me, and for the sick red leather books. That's right. Winnie Crow was a museum curator, so she definitely knows about this stuff. It's like a silly putty. Oh, very cool. It's not for ink stains. Okay. But again, interesting to know that it even exists. I think that's fantastic. Red sidewall, says Red. Yes, says Rutan. Let's put that in. Red. Talk about unique, right? Red sidewall. Wouldn't you love to see this tire now? There we go. That's pretty much every character. Like I've mentioned before, just something to look into. When you type the color in your title, eBay is going to prompt you to change. This specific might apply to your listing. Red. The color is not red. Oh, Jeff, no. I hope she's okay. Go get her. Please, if you're able to chime back in and just let us know if she's okay, I'd really appreciate that. All right, Jeff? Take care. Yeah, loving the red sidewalls. I was giving you credit, CJ. You should have said yeah. No. Well, everybody, let's hope that Jeff's mom is okay. My wife and I take care of my dad, who's about that same age, and we're always worried about that too, falling. So I do understand all too well. And I hope she's okay. Well, let's let this one hit the airwaves because I'm just make sure. Yeah, I think we've gotten all the juice out of that grape. We do have a few more. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight again with no notice, and we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes already. It goes by so quickly. The cool 1916 automobile goodness we have for everybody this evening. This one is cool. I don't even know what this is, so let's look at this together. Absorbine. Okay. Well, I will tell you. First, I'm going to tidy this up because if you see on the right side of this ad, I probably have to trim it physically a little bit. So we will trim it virtually to make it look as good as possible. There we go. This is here's something again you're not going to see often, folks. A 1916 speedometer. That is a speedometer. That is your mileage, your trip indicator, and your miles per hour that would go on to your vehicle. How cool is that? Yeah, it's like an odometer, but it's called a speedometer. You can see it has 3 indicators. There's your mileage, your overall mileage. You have a trip indicator, so if you're going from point A to point B, just like now. And this is your miles per hour right here. 0 to 60 is the max. This is wild, though. The Stuart Warner Speedometer Corporation out of Chicago. Yeah, 60 actually, I think it goes up to, but that's it. Which I'm sure not many cars could hit 60 in 1916. My goodness. Yeah, Deal Finder. Isn't that awesome? I've never seen anything like that. So let's, first of all, it's called Stuart what? Stuart Warner Speedometer Corp. So let's just put Stuart Speedometer. Somebody help me spell this. Do you put speed Mika? Yes, I spelled it right. Holy cow. I have no idea what category. I mean, I'll put it in automobile. Oh, yeah, there you go. Other automobile ads. Perfect. That's kind of what this is, right? It's a printed. The model is not speedometer. Make is NA. It's looking for, when you put other automobile, it's looking for a make and a model. 1916. I mean, to my eyes, that's pretty complicated for 1916 to have. I had no idea that you could have a separated trip calculator. That's pretty cool. I had no idea they had that long ago. 1916. Let's fill this out, guys, so we can take a look at the picture again, and we'll read some of that text. See what we got. Original in the United States. That should take care of this. And first of all, the price is going up. Extremely unique. And CJ is saying need Warner. Oh yeah, put that in the title. We'll put in Stuart Warner. Okay. Works for me. Let's take a look at the picture again. I don't think I need to blow this one up. It's well, it has pricing information. Like the speedometer is $30, which is a lot of money. This must have been a very expensive add-on for vehicles. Stuart Warner still made today. Thank you very much for that, CJ. On the very top, under the word Stuart, you see where it says 7524, right? That's the mileage. Under the word Stuart, it says magnetic type. Maybe we should indicate that, magnetic type speedometer. Not being an expert in speedometer technology, I wouldn't know if that's a, important element, but magnetic speedometer. My goodness, magnetic speedometer. Are they like a huge player in the speedometer market? One Crow predicting a quick sale. No, you're never wrong. Magnetic type, if it fits. Yeah, I got that in there. Right? Antique Predator. What else should we put in? The big thing to look for in every car. It's in use in over 1.7 million automobiles. The Stuart Speedometer is the most experienced speedometer organization. It's the largest chain. Oh, they have a chain of service station as well. Service stations. They also have the largest factory accessory. That's a good one. State of the art. Yeah. Appears to be. CJ, what do you know about the history of speedometers in automobiles? Is this like a very early example? Because when a Crow was saying state of the art, I don't know if it is, but it probably is. I mean, cars themselves are only barely 20 years old at this point. So I think everything is a new innovation, pretty much. Everything that comes out around this time is new and definitely state of the art. Lots of gauges are still made. Very cool. Really unique ads tonight. Always a good thing. I'm amazed at the graphic. It just looks, to me, that looks, I would never in a million years think that's from 1916. It looks pretty modern, actually. Although the miles per hour looks much more like a scale, right? You know how you would step on a scale, you'd have a 0, and then the numbers start going up to the right, and then your max would be on the left. So it's very much like a scale. Maybe that speaks to the whole magnetic technology. I'm not sure. But like I said, who knew that they kept track of trips, that you could do a trip calculation. Really cool. Stuart Warner Speedometer Corporation, Chicago. Sometimes when you're desperate, you might put like like Chicago or New York or whatever, but I don't know that we need that now. But I do like the whole state-of-the-art angle that Winter Crow is going with. Modern technology, something to that effect. Definitely interesting. State of the art. Let me see if that fits. Probably not with. It's state of art. Oop, CJ with some factoids. Hold on. Josip Belucik in 1900s became standard equipment 1910. That's the makers of this product. You think I can get away with state of art instead of state of the art? Because that fills all our characters out. Take a look again at this cool looking ad. Incredibly unique. To my eyes, I know I've said it 5 times, but a very modern looking ad considering it's 100 years old. 100 plus years old. He was the inventor. Okay, cool. 1910. Oh, so we're talking, it's only 6 years old. It is pretty state of the art, right? I leave article adjectives out all the time. Adjectives. Okay. So then I will confidently go forward with my state of art. Thank you, Winnicrow. I think so too. All right, let's let this one go so we can get the other couple in tonight. Godspeed to that one. I think we do have a couple more. I've never seen an advertisement for a speedometer in my life. Hopefully there's somebody out there that's going to be really as intrigued as we've been looking at it. Yeah, great point, Dilfan, because like we've said 100 times, I think the tendency is to try to make it look like you're writing a sentence in that title, and it's just not necessary. You just want to get those keywords in, and you don't need the. You're right. I agree with you totally. We're not getting scored for grammar and a title on an eBay listing, that's for sure. Okay, let's get rid of that one. And what do we have next? Continuing in the line of wacky, I said car ads, but I didn't tell you it was, they were all necessarily for the vehicle. Here's another one. Look at this. Mother casually taking her children and doggy out of a car that is apparently up in flames, ladies and gentlemen. In flames. Look at the, holding the girl's hand as she slowly exits the vehicle. Pyrene fire extinguisher ad. Have we ever come across a fire extinguishing ad? I have not. But they're from the Pyrene Manufacturing Company in New York City. You could see the disaster related. Yep. Mother has forgotten the pyrene and clearly paid the penalty. As her vehicle goes up in flames, we have father in the front. I think that's a dog. I can't tell if that's father's hand or a dog in the front, but we will blow this one up too. But mother casually, like I said, escorting a little girl. Old pump action extinguishers. Yeah, you see that at the top? You can see the handle for the pump. Obviously, and it's only for $7.50, a must accessory to save your vehicle from an inferno like this. So let's pull this one up. Wild ad, ladies and gentlemen. This is really cool. We've come across some wild and crazy ads tonight. Another accessory or auto part. Yeah, exactly, right? Instead of just like your run-of-the-mill, it's got to be mother's fault. She clearly it slipped her mind. She was busy tending to the clothing and whatnot, the washing of the clothes. Yeah, isn't this cool, Deal Finder? It's not just the vehicle, it's the accessories. All right, let me pull up the blow up of this one. It's always Mother's fault. This is an ongoing joke between Winter Crow and I from other ads that we've mostly related to soap. Mother never seems to be the one that bathes. She bathes everybody else. Mother is relegated to like washing linens and stuff. And she never gets to actually take a bath. Poor Mother. Okay, let's blow this one up and we could take a look at this and read it together. There we go. Pyrene. Again, note the casual, nonchalant approach to an engine ablaze. Yeah, it looks like that is simply just Father's right hand. I thought that might have been a dog in the front. No. Mother's wearing a very strange hat also. Don't know what that's about. But clearly the engine is up in flames and they're in, the side of some very rural-looking road. Mother forgot the pyrene and paid the penalty. The car was purring sweetly through the sunny countryside. Suddenly, I smelt something like paint burning when I saw a flash of fire in front of the windshield. Look, cried Mildred. It was Mildred's fault, see? As the slim finger grew into a cloud of smoke and flame, I grabbed the emergency brake and stopped the burning car. Jump, I yelled. We had hardly reached the ground with the baby when the car was roar of flame. In no time, it was ruined. I realized then with bitter self-reproach that one pyrene costing $7.50 would have saved the day. Never do I ride in a friend's car now that I don't feel uneasy unless I see the pyrene under the cowl. We need to know what the cowl is, ladies and gentlemen. I know a cowl is like a mask. My new car carries a pyrene, and I pocket 15% on my fire insurance premium every year. To you who motor and without one, please take the tip of a friend and buy a pyrene. I think CJ, or was it Rutan, correctly identifying this as like an old pump style? A cowl is a hood. Okay, thank you very much, Winter Crow. I'm loving this ad again. I'm loving this ad. Mom's okay. Thank God, Jeff. And thanks for letting me know. And everybody else watching. Hopefully you can rejoin the shenanigans and have a little fun now for a few minutes. But I know how scary that could be. But yeah, we have the whole history of, mother and father purring sweetly through the sunny countryside when suddenly, crazy, crazy ad. Yeah, how did it catch on fire? Apparently engines of that time just suddenly, self-ignited. I don't know. Crazy. What a crazy ad. Oh, let me fix my focus. There you go. Jeff's mom is okay. Wonderful news. The cowl is the hood. I know the Cape Crusader used to wear his cowl on the Batman show, right? Yeah, fire extinguisher. Apparently a must-have accessory in a vehicle circa 1916. Cars still burn, yes, but not if they have their pyrene fire extinguisher. Deal Finder. All right, let me pull up the rest. Let's list this one. And there it is. It's like the old movies. Yeah, exactly. Apparently it was just par for the course, You had gasoline and these newfangled engines, these horseless carriages. Or maybe they should, Deal Finder, that's for sure. Maybe they should. All right. Crazy, crazy ad. Pyrene. Pyrene. Fire extinguisher. So much to say in this ad. All this, we don't have to change anything here, which is kind of cool. I do like Rutan has suggested a pump style. Is there a word for that? Like a full-on Pump style extinguisher. Is it literally called pump style? Let's see. Pump style fire extinguisher. Oh yeah, all the rage. Wow, this is cool, guys. Let me show you this. Hang on one second. We're going to stop this screen. I'm going to show you another one. Check this out. There's the real deal. Pyrene pump style fire extinguishers, circa 1916. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Can you guys see that? Isn't that awesome, CJ? You want to have that those under your cowl? Too cool. A trademark fire extinguisher. Yeah, I think that's wild. Okay. We've had a lot of fun with the fire extinguisher talk, huh? All right, let me get rid of that. Let's go back and list our item. Because after all, yeah, exactly, Rutan, right? Even a fire extinguisher looks like it's classy. I agree. Burning car vintage auto safety. Very cool ideas for words. I agree. They were made in, according to this ad. Let me pull the ad back up. I think it said where it was made. Let me see. Let us go back to the ad, shall we? Okay. Say where it was made. Pyrene Manufacturing Company in New York is what it says on this specific ad. I don't know if they had a worldwide presence or if it was just a local thing. Winnie Crow and everybody else, we must acknowledge one thing. What is going on with Mother's hat? What is that? I'm not quite sure what she's wearing. But I think that's pretty irrelevant for the purposes of this ad because there's so much going on. I dig the burning car. Should probably mention vintage auto safety. Burning engine maybe, or burning car auto safety and stuff. Yeah, what is that hat? It almost looks like a gimmick. It looks like a I don't even know, it looks like rabbit ears or something. It looks terrible. You don't want to be caught in a car fire wearing that, that's for sure. Mm. Yeah, they really did, Roten. But hey, styles come and go and change radically over time, don't they? And in retrospect, everything looks terrible that you used to think look cool or look good. And then you wait long enough and they all come back. So everything old is new again. I kind of like the title, Pyrene Fire Extinguishers, Burning Car Auto Safety, and we have 8 characters left. Paid the penalty. Oh my God. Family, maybe? What about family? I'll just put family. Maybe car fire, not burning. Who's going to look for burning? Yeah. But we have fire extinguisher already in there. I hesitate to use the same word twice in a title. That's kind of a waste of space. But I get the gist. Death on the highway. Oh my God. Yeah, we have no characters left. I put family in and that kind of fills it out. Death on the highway. Everybody looks they look extremely nonchalant about the whole thing. I don't think there's any death occurring on the highway. Father was just, staring at the inferno, wondering what the heck he could have done differently to prevent this. Obviously, pyrene was the answer. I love that word cowl, though. How can we get cowl in there? Burning safety. WL is cowl, yeah. Yeah, no reason for fire twice. But I definitely got the idea there. All right, let's list this one. Wild, crazy ad again. Yeah, I had family in there. But we put cowl. I kind of like cowl. I think it's a unique word. Again, I don't know how many people go on eBay and type in cowl, but we'll take a chance. If somebody is, you're guaranteed to see my ad. More correctly, Jeff, maybe our hat should have been on fire. Win a crow with the funny. Thank you. Yeah, these ads are on fire tonight. All right, did I hit list on this one? Let me make sure. I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Wonderful. It's hysterical. My God, we've seen some crazy accessories this evening for the common vehicle. I think it's a lot more exciting than just, I mean, the car ads are cool unto themselves, but this kind of stuff, my God, you just don't see this. Speaking of which, we're going to finish tonight, at least the ad portion, with another wacky car accessory. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the Trailmobile, the motorless motor truck. Looks like just a little hitch you put on. Looks like something you'd see in Amish country now, or with a horse pulling it. Just a simple little wagon that you would tow with your vehicle. Isn't that cool? The sleeping giant. Your automobile or light truck, awaken its latent power. It could do twice as much for you, be doubly useful, cut your hauling costs in half if you let it pull what it cannot carry. How? The Trailmobile, of course. Read the full facts, and I have a whole bunch of facts below that. But the image, look at that. Just a little hitch that you could attach to the back of your car. And trust me, as it says at the bottom, your automobile will pull a Trailmobile. Yep, we got sleeping giants. We got giants in a box. What a night. Isn't that cool? I think that's very, very cool. The motorless motor truck. You got your trademark up there. You got your patents applied for. Exactly, Rootin'. It's kind of like, the U-Haul, the little hitch you could put on the back of a car now. Same idea. Same idea. Very innovative at the time. White wall tires for your wagon. Yeah. That's a sharp-looking little thing. Imagine cruising down the streets today with that thing. You want to see heads turn. Trailmobile. Motorless motor truck. All right. Where to begin with this guy? Trailmobile. Of course, comes up as a check your spelling. But that's how it's pronounced, how it's spelled, right? Trailmobile. See, there's like an underlying company for this. Excuse me. Or maybe it is just Trailmobile. Capacity. It can hold up, just so you know, up to 1,800 pounds. 20 different body styles. Truck type wheels with 14 spokes. Wheelbase is 62 inches. And just so you know, this is no slouch, ladies and gentlemen. The speed, you are guaranteed between 20 and 25 miles an hour on this guy. So we are moving and grooving. And there is a company at the bottom. I figured there would be, right? It's called the Sechler and Company. S as in Sam, ECHLER. Established in 1841 out of Cincinnati. Loving this thing. The Trailmobile can be used behind Ford, Buick, Overland, Studebaker, Hudson, Hupmobile, Chalmers, Rio, Maxwell, and any other pleasure car or light truck where the rear cross member of the chassis frame is available. Over 20 styles to suit every line of business. Oh, this is, please, 25, a solid 25. But again, we laugh, but think about relative to, all of history prior to just a few years before this was horses. And even your fastest, a horse can run 25 miles an hour, but horses weren't running through the streets carrying, you've seen that. If you go to YouTube, by the way, there's a few great channels I watch all the time that has movies from the late 1800s to early, turn of century time. It's beautiful. They have like a street scene in San Francisco, and you see all the horses and buggies, competing with cars when they first came up. And, they're schlepping down the street probably at like 5 miles an hour. So 25. You're a speed demon. Absolute speed demon. Those brakes with 18. I know. That's a great point, too. 25. Scorching the road. All right, Trailmobile. What are we calling this thing? This is called a motorless motor truck. So far be it for me to deviate from that. The motorless motor truck. And then we had some other cool words, like hitch. Let's see. It would be, but yeah, you can see Buster on there. Motorless. Saying should be 2 words, but not according to this ad. And we're going to live by the word of the ad. Motor-less. Is anybody on eBay going to search like that, though? No, absolutely not. All right. What was some of those cool words? I saw people writing things like hitch and tow, and who was writing that? Let's see. Let's scroll back up. Utility. Here we go. One crow. Utility car, trailer, tow, haul, hitch. Haul and hitch for sure. Let's just run the gamut. Tow, haul, hitch, trailer. I just missed. I just short a trailer. The ultimate goal is just to get people, eyes on your ad, right? So I think we have more than enough words in there. And look at that picture. That's just kind of cool. And they're going uphill, by the way, at a solid 25 miles an hour. Topping out at 25. It says 20 to 25 is guaranteed. Antique trailer ad. Yeah, I have antique in there. Anything older than 100 years now with the ads we're putting in antique. You see, I have antique print ad. Toll haul hitch. That's a wild one. I think that's going to be it for this one because we're. How about if I could spell motorless right? Motorless. Pretty much fills up all the characters. So let's list this one. I'm just eager to get these things listed because they're so unique. I'm smelling a sale. You get a kind of a feeling about some of them. List. Thanks for crushing my dreams, When a Crow. I appreciate that. Thanks again. All right. Well, let me just tell you, folks. Get rid of this. Motor truck. This. That's what you do, right? Let me fix this. Shockingly, in just over 2 hours, we have banged out all of the remaining advertisements from those 2 magazines left over from the last 2 shows. So let me get rid of this and say hi to everybody again. If If you guys have any questions, any thoughts, anything you want to talk about, let me know. We're done with the listing portion of the listing show because I don't have any other ads prepped yet in my, any of the scans up. We've listed everything. So I want to thank everybody. Yeah, let me know. You guys have any questions about ads, about anything else? I did touch on the fact that we're going to do potentially very soon some sheet music, some vintage sheet music. Maybe I'll show you guys some of those. I'll scan a bunch of those. I have, let me see quickly how many we have listed right now. We sell them maybe 1 or 2 a week. They're not really fast movers, but they're bread and butter kind of items that cost virtually nothing. I will say, just to touch on the topic lightly, don't spend a lot on them. Try to get bundles of them if you can. Don't buy one-offs. Try to get a solid, at least 100 or so, maybe in a stack, and offer them for 100, $10, $15, maybe, because they will sit. They're not going to be fast movers, but there are people that really like them, and I think a lot of people that, at least from the feedback I've received from my buyers of the vintage sheet music, a lot of time they're buying them just for the cover. Kind of conversely, it's the exact opposite of what I do with my philosophy about the magazines. Is I don't sell the magazines as a whole, right? I rip them apart and I sell the pieces and make infinite amounts more on the individual ads than I would make on the magazine as a whole. With the sheet music, it's kind of the opposite. It's not the sheet music necessarily. It's not that there's 3 or 4 pages. It's just the cover. Obviously, the song, the artist, the writer all have huge factor in whether or not somebody buys it, but really most of the feedback I've received is that they buy the music and then same thing, they frame the cover. So it's almost like the sheet music itself, the actual transcription or the music, the notation is secondary. Sheet music will be fun. Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, just I want to let everybody know, we do a lot more than ads. I love being the ad guy is cool with me though. I love going through this with everybody. And we have the lion's share of my stuff is ads, but we have lots of other stuff too. You have suitcases full, a few hundred at a time. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying don't spend more than, I don't know, yeah, like 20, 30 cents a magazine. A sheet music piece. Try to get bulk lots of them. If you go into an antique mall or something, they might have like a stack of 10 and say $10, and you think, oh, it's only $1. Don't spend that much on them. They're not worth that much. The most expensive sheet music I recall selling, we had a 1896. I could probably pull it up. It was beautiful. It was very ornate. What's the famous silent film where the man on the moon thing, where the guy's face looks like the moon and you see a rocket come up on it? What's the name of that movie, everybody? Silent film, legendary silent film. I just can't think of what it's called. But anyway, it was a sheet music from that. And it was like, I don't know, a little over $100 we sold it for, which again is incredible because it probably worked out to costing 10 cents or so. But they're not, it's a bread and butter item. If you can get them for trip to the moon, there you go. Thank you. If you can get them for 10, 20, 30 cents a piece and sell them for 15, $20, that's very reasonable. That's probably the most, at least in experience that I've had with them. That's what we sell them for, probably mostly in that range, which again is tremendous return on investment. But just know that they're not going to fly off the shelf typically. So like everything else, get some volume up there, get some quantity up there. You'll sell a couple every week. It'll be worth your time. And they're very simple to list. It's almost identical. Maybe I'll do a video about that. But if you have a decent scanner, there's different sizes with the sheet music. There's a larger version, which won't fit in a traditional scanner, but I would be able to get it on my flatbed, just like these 16 by 11s I can get on there. Most of them are the 8.5 by 11 sort of form factor. And you could scan them in one of your, if you guys have like an Epson scanner like I have, you could feed them up. You sell them in your shop, have to get them listed on eBay. Yeah, definitely do. Look at this. 2 Life 45 and a 64 and a 50 holiday man. Beautiful. That will make you feel better. Yeah, I know. When though? Just take the time, thumb through them. Don't put too much research into them. Most like I'll give you a couple of the few bolos I know of is Bing Crosby. If you can get like 30s Bing Crosby stuff, he's huge. Obviously Rudy Valley, which actually predates Crosby, 20s Rudy Valley stuff, Bing Crosby stuff, Kate Smith stuff, If you see them on the cover, usually a pretty good thing. Then there's, of course, Mark. Oh, my second most valuable one was a Marx Brothers from Night at the Opera. Marx Brothers, Bolo. But most of you run in the mill, just because they're older and they have some cool titles, they'll probably sell 10 to 15 bucks all day. And as long as you get them, like I said, under $1 each, then it's well worth it. They ship for almost nothing. They go first class. They might even be able to go media mail. I haven't even looked into that. I sell them for first. I ship them first class. They weigh 6-7 ounces in one of the same exact. There's a huge parallel between the print ads and the sheet music for me, because I ship them exactly the same. If you see my video on shipping, those same rigid mailers, put them in a piece of plastic, put them in that. They get there safely. They mail first class. They're usually 6 or 7 ounces at the most. Super easy to. I just scan them and list them. I won't do tons of research unless something really grabs my eye. I'll kind of like just put them out there around 15 bucks and see what happens. If something jumps off the, if you look at a cover and it just looks very graphically interesting, like that Man on the Moon thing, I just knew right away. And it was colorful too. I did check that one out and I saw the comps were really high, so I priced that one up high. If you see Marx Brothers, if you see Bing Crosby, if you see Kate Smith, if you see Andrews Sisters, all of those are kind of bolos. But we'll go into that. We'll have a show devoted to that. Maybe we'll just look at them together. I'll grab a stack. And Sarah's back. Hang on, Sarah. Ooh, state sale possibilities for tomorrow. That would be awesome. On a Thursday? You probably have your pick of the litter on a Thursday. A lot of people are working still. That's awesome. Toys are selling for you in diecast. Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people sell toys. They're hot. Yeah, you got to go back, Sarah, if you can. When we're done, go back and rewatch like the last half hour or so. It's been, we were in the 1916 magazines. I don't know if we were in them when you left. I think we were. And, I had teased that we're going to do some car ads, but they were far more than car ads. So check it out. It's really cool. Fatty Arbuckle's good one. There you go. Any stars of the time. Just think about, and then types of music like ragtime sells well. Al Jolson. You'll see, I think I talked about this the other night, tons of Irving Berlin, either written by him, Rodgers and Hammerstein, you'll see, right? Yeah, there's also like, you have the cover itself, you have the song title, you have the artist who did it, and you'll have the publisher at the bottom. All of these are things you want to look for. World War I, over there, those kind of songs, the rah-rah songs, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Just use your common sense with things that, a Wizard of Oz. If you find a sheet music from 1939 from, Over the Rainbow, probably a good piece. Like I said, Marx Brothers, all of the sheet music I buy is from the 40s and earlier, from turn of the century, even 1890s. Like I said, for that One Moon one, 1896, I think that was, up to the 40s or so. World War II, always going to be good. I'm sure there's some other ones that are good, the 50s and stuff, but I just dabble in primarily, let's say, a 50-year span from 1890s to 1940s. We will definitely go through this because I'm glad there's some interest in it. And like I said, there is a little crossover from the print ad stuff. 80 to 100 pounds. That's outrageously good. And hopefully you didn't pay a lot for it, Deal Finder. Being a deal finder, I'm thinking you didn't pay a lot for it. Yep. Ragtime. Great word to look for, Rutan. Ragtime, like jazz, old jazz stuff. You'll see so many variations on Moon Over Kentucky, Moon Over Alabama, Moon Over. Every state seems to have a song that says Moon Over so-and-so. Shirley Temple's a great one. Wizard of Oz is a great one. Fatty was acquitted when it... Yes, that's right. That is true. So much to go through. Yeah, well, I hear a common theme. But a lot of this stuff is like, when do I get the time? When do I have? Well, if you bought it and it's sitting there, spend some time. Pour yourself a drink, sit down with a stack of 100 pounds of sheet music, and just kind of thumb through. You don't have to investigate every single one. Just thumb through. A lot of them are going to be mediocre, kind of who you never heard of these people, so-so songs. But you're going to find, oh my God, is that Groucho Marx in there? Ooh, look at this. It's from one of the Marx Brothers movies. Cha-ching, Wizard of Oz. Disney stuff. I was discouraged. Do I have it right here? I do have one right here. How's that, ladies and gentlemen? Always be prepared. Look at this guy. My favorite Disney movie of all time is Pinocchio. And my favorite character is Pinocchio. And Jiminy Flip It for Jiminy Cricket, right? I have a little Jiminy Cricket hanging over my head, actually, that my wife got me because I love this movie. Well, anyway, I have a When You Wish Upon the Star original from the film. You can see Irving Berlin. Really good condition. You know, it has the lyrics, it has all the music notation, it has the chords. Excellent condition. But when I did the comps on this, you know, I haven't done this in a while. We got this like maybe 2 years ago. I might look at it again. But like you have this, you have Snow White, When You Wish, I'm Wishing, you know, the Wishing Well song, all those kind of things. Unfortunately, it didn't have a really high value. So this one is a perfect example of what I said a buyer might look at is show me this in a frame. Like this should be in a frame. You got my boy Jiminy Cricket over here. I was going to say Flip It again. Notice again, Irving Berlin. Irving Berlin not only he didn't write this song, but he had a publishing company. So look for Irving Berlin. For those who you might not know, he wrote White Christmas. He wrote a whole bunch of songs. Over There, World War I. Irving Berlin, Disney, Pinocchio. Right? Stellar condition. It's going to be framed. That's why I happen to have it sitting here, because I have it set on the side to put up in a frame. But that's what most of the buyers for these things that I've come across anyway do. They buy them because the cover is nice. It's graphically intriguing. It's got Disney. You know, just like this. If you're thumbing through your 100 pounds of ads, you want to pull this one out. You want to pull out Marx Brothers. You want to pull out Wizard of Oz. You want to pull out any war-themed stuff over there as an example. Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, Andrews Sisters. Here we go. I'm sorry, I've missed like 100 comments while I was sitting here showing you that. But anyway, I love, that's a really nice example of one that we have. People weighs so much. Yes, it does. But not individually. Same issue with it. Postcards get heavy. Yeah. Speaking of drinks, bought some glassware. Cool. Beautiful. See, that's what you want to do, deal finder. Told my wife I just drafted my first centerfold ad, and she said, that sounds nasty. I said we all drag everything to a hotel house and meet up for a weekend. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know how many I could fit in here, but we'll find a spot. Well, you said go to a hotel, right? That would be fun. All right, everybody's coming over? Centerfold ad like Burt Reynolds did. Yeah, exactly. How do you, if it's for piano or organ or what? How do I what? Indicate in the listing, you mean? A lot of the, I'm assuming you mean the sheet music. It's funny. Most of the earlier ones for me, it's going to be ukulele. It's super popular. You have ukulele transcription, chord charts. Probably the most popular, actually. Guitar, obviously. Piano. That's the three big ones. Lots of his sheet music. Or saw a lot of it in there. Sarah calling for a listing party at the holiday. Yeah, let's go. Well, right. That's a great idea. We'll rent out a room. You know, like the rooms where they have conventions and stuff. It's actually a great idea. My wife will bake cookies for everybody. Yeah. We'll order some pizzas. You know what I'm saying? Crank up some tunes. I'll play. We'll do a concert. It's a beautiful idea. Who's sheet music? I'm sorry. Do you mean Irving Berlin? Yeah, we'd have to have a week. You can't ration love. No, you'll just have to wait. Yep, we'll have a cookie party. Speaking of cookies, hold on. My wife with a panicked message. Email me. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll take care of some baking business, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just take a moment. But yeah, keep the ideas coming. I really would do some kind of meetup. I think that would be a lot of fun. We can go through stuff together. And I have thrown this out there before, and I did a poll. I'm highly considering, if anybody's interested, auctioning off some of these magazines. If you guys want to get your hands on some of my stash of stuff, you can see that it sells, and it sells for good money. You've learned how to do it. I might give away some of these magazines for you guys. We'll auction them off. It won't be too expensive. And all I would need it would be through PayPal. So all I would need is your email address, basically, if that's tied to your PayPal. And I'll just ask if you're a winner of the auction, send me an email, jiminyflipit@gmail.com, with that information, your email, your YouTube name, so I know who I'm talking to, your real name, and I'll send an invoice out for whatever the value of the magazine goes. And I would send it out there for free to everybody. But it might be a good way to kickstart a career in vintage print ad listing. Offensive sheet music. Ooh. Yeah, you're going to find that. You know, it's just of the time. Yes, him. Okay. Al Jolson LP. Oh, wow. Really? An LP or a 78? We could do that in person. Yeah, we could absolutely do that. Yeah, we could. Might sell my offensive content on my domain. Ooh, exactly. It's kind of a subjective thing, to be honest with you. I have to send a really fast email, ladies and gentlemen. So just hang on 1 second. But let me know your thoughts on the auction. Would you like to do that? We could do that Monday night. Good news. Let me tease the coming week. It's only Wednesday, but I might even come on before this. But Monday for sure, we're going to have our chat show back, 7 p.m. And Travis should be back for that one. Working on at least one special guest along with Travis, potentially more than that. And then the following week, we have a brand new guest making her debut appearance, and she's a little nervous, but she's a great gal. I met her on Instagram, and we will be showing her. I'll let everybody know who that is probably next week. But right now, my wife needs something for the bakery, so I best get it to her. Let me know, like I said, about the auction for the magazines. Like I have a bunch of those Colliers still. I have Tons of Life. I have McCall's. I have all the ones I've been showing you. And I was even thinking, if you wanted, potentially, if anybody has any interest in them, I might even cut out some ads for everybody to get you really started off. So you could have the whole magazine and maybe like 5 or 10 pre-selected ads cut out in front. Thank you, Winnie Crow. I think that would be cool. I have to send my wife this thing, and I have to find it to send it to her. But it really would be a nice way if you guys are like looking for something, especially if I cut out some ads for you. I mean, you really got to kickstart. You figure 10 ads right there. If you sell them for 50, it's $150 you can make. With basically just follow the same thing I'm doing. If you want to improve upon it, if you have your own ideas, go for it. But I'm doing pretty well at this, and I know you guys have enjoyed the series, so you could kind of put some of that stuff into practice. Looking for an invoice. Here we go. Take care of my wife's request, and then we'll get back to the action. That's exciting watching somebody send an email live on YouTube. Okay. All right, everybody. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Auction sounds great. When are we going to Columbus? I'm not sure, but we definitely plan on hitting it up again. An LP from when? I'm just curious about the Al Jolson thing, because it's obviously not from the 20s, because they didn't have LPs in 20s. That's why I was saying LP. Oh, wow. CJ, you're in Mount Vernon? Ohio. A lot of great people in Ohio. Mr. Auction Professor territory. He's in Toledo area, I believe. You know what we could do? Because I'm still on. It's 8:30 and we still have some people watching. You guys want to see some of my listings that I have out there for sheet music? I'll show you what I got. And don't you hate this, ladies and gentlemen? I just got an offer on something, right? While we were talking. And I'm opening it up to look at the offer, and now it says your offer has been retracted. What are you doing? They send an offer and then they retract it. That's disheartening. All right, yeah, let's check out. I'll pull up some sheet music. I'll just show you guys some of the stuff I have up, and then I have a box with probably another 100 of them to go through. All right, let's check this out. Yeah, I have 122 listed. We won't go through all 122, but I'll show you some of the stuff I have and some of the thoughts behind the way we price them. So let's share this screen. There we go. All right, so like I said, 122 of them. We'll sort it by price. Der Bingala. Hold on. Here we go. Here's what I was showing you. You see Bing Crosby, 1931? That's an example of a cool piece of sheet music. Very early Bing Crosby. He's only 28 years old here, just so you know. And another interesting one on this one, you can see lyric by Harry Tobias and Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby, not known exactly as a lyricist, but here he is. Robbins Music Corp is the publisher, very popular. You'll see a lot of ads with Robbins. And you see this says introduced by Bing Crosby with the rouge on his, it's a black and white photo that they're trying to artificially put lipstick on Der Bingala. That's not cool. Yeah, it's a good one, right? Things to look out for. The song itself, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't even know the song At Your Command, but it's Bing Crosby. It's early Bing Crosby. Makes this one a good one. $38.50 I have this one up for. We'll see what happens. Try to find some cool other ones that I might have. Marx Brothers, I mentioned. A song called Alone from the Marx Brothers, A Night at the Opera. And you can see, now there's two things to know about. Yeah, the rosy cheeks were hysterical, weren't they, true, Miss Laney? When it comes to sheet music, and Marx Brothers specifically, because I've been burnt by this before, you notice at the top of this page, right? And you notice also the heavy use of the term that I say, age toning. You see how the paper's kind of browned a little bit? That's not that important. The cover was really good. You see the cover? And Kitty Carlisle, remember her from the game shows? I'm sure Winnie Crow remembers her. Kitty Carlisle was like on To Tell the Truth and things like that. Lydia the Tattooed Lady is a great song. I love Groucho Marx, by the way. Lydia. Yep. Well, anyway, this tune is called Alone, but very importantly, underneath it says featured in the MGM production, The Night at the Opera. So we know this is from the film score. The Marx Brothers were around for a long, they were all born in the 1880s and 1890s. And they started their career shortly after the turn of the century, 1910, 1915. They were doing Broadway shows. And all of their movies that, The Night at the Opera and all that stuff, they were originally Broadway productions. So if you get a hold of some sheet music from the Broadway production of, which I did and I sold for a lot of money, of A Night at the Opera as opposed to the movie, it's even more valuable because everybody knows the movie. It's really cool to see when something's from the Marx Brothers on Broadway, predating their movie career. But they were Broadway stars, many, many years before they even got into the movies. Just something to look for. And that's how you can see right there. Again, it says the MGM production. So we know it's the film. Plus the year. What year was this one? 35. So we know this is definitely from the movie. But just a really cool item. Kitty Carlisle, famous game show girl. She was always on game shows when she was an older woman. Oh, Hello, I Must Be Going, another great one. But this is awesome because you have the image of the three most famous Marx Brothers. You have them written out, Groucho, Chico, and Harpo. Zeppo is going to be my answer, Rutan. And whoever this guy is, might even be Zeppo with Kitty Carlisle. Lyric by Arthur Freed. Music by Nacho Herb Brown. You're welcome, True Miss Laney. I hope you dig it. Yeah, I love collaborating with everybody, and like everybody seems to have a strength in these things. Trivia questions going out and stuff. So anyway, that's another really good piece. Gummo, very good, Rutan, absolutely. Yep. And there probably is sheet music for Hello, I Must Be Going. Just look for the movies. If you search Marx Brothers sheet music. All right, so that's two I wanted to show you. I'm just pulling this up no specific orders to them, just pulling them up based on kind of the stuff we talked about. Bing Crosby was one I talked about, right? This is, I thought this one was cool. I'm trying to remember why. Gary Cooper in 1934. Gary Cooper, very famous movie star. But 34 is very early for Gary Cooper. There he is. Operator 13. There's the back. Another, remember I mentioned Robin's music. You're going to see that a lot. Captain Spaulding. Fear not, stuff like this. Condition when it comes to the print ad, excuse me, I'm so used to saying print ads. Sheet music is not nearly as important as it is with the sheet music. In fact, on all the verbiage or the description part, I always say something, even if it's not true, I'll say, it could be ripped, torn. That 1896 one I told you about earlier with the Man on the Moon that sold for over $100, it had rips. It was tattered on the side. It's much less important in sheet music. People will buy this stuff literally in shredded, not shredded, but you could see right here where there's some ancient tape on there from the original guy. Never really is a big deal. There's a piece of tape at the top here. You can see there's a little bit of a crinkle. It shouldn't affect in any way, shape, or form the success for selling these things. They don't need to be in great condition. If they are, of course, it's something you might want to just highlight that it's in great condition. But a lot of mine have the tape on it, have things like that, and it's never been an issue. But yeah, Gary Cooper, legendary actor. He did the story of what's his name? My goodness. Today I consider myself Babe Ruth and famous ball player. He did the movie with the ball player, who for some reason I can't think of his name, which makes no sense. Oh, Lou Gehrig, ladies and gentlemen. I also have that same, again, because they're so similar as far as shipping and listing, scan. They ship first class for 7 ounces. I have that same promotion. If you buy 2 or more, they ship for free. And that seems to work well on my sheet music. But anyway, the novelty here is it's a very early Gary Cooper. Marion Davies being given the top billing. So Gary Cooper is a relative newcomer, I guess, in 1934. See what you guys are writing. Matinee Idol, absolutely. 3 Cheers for Capital Small, yep. Anything film noir related would be absolutely. Especially when you can find stuff like this, like very early examples of somebody who became legendary maybe later on. Well, like a 1931 Bing Crosby is an early Bing Crosby. So I think that one will do well. Who else? Got another Bing. Got a few Bings. This one is, I think he's kind of he's hit his heyday almost. 1936. There's Bing with Francis Farmer and Bob Burns. And what is Bing doing? Pretending to play the ukulele. Ukulele was all the rage in the 20s and 30s. A lot of the sheet music you'll see, the music is actually written for. That's a cool image too on the back. This one's in very good condition. You see the ukulele. It says uke, tune uke. That's ukulele transcription. Francis Farmer. That's a good one, right? There's Bing with some kind of cowboy silhouette thing and rodeo going over there. Francis Farmer killed herself, didn't she? I think I know that. Probably a raging alcoholic. But you can fill in the blanks for me. I'd appreciate it, Winnicrow. Lots of good sheet music out there, fellas. Gals. Look at this. This is funny. Another Bing, but look at this one. 1934, 5. Fairly early Bing, playing the guitar. She Loves Me Not. Beautiful color image of Bing. And then you got Song Folio of the Year on the back. Look at that. All Bing Crosby. And there's the well-browned paper again with the uke transcription. Bing is big. Bing sells in the sheet music category really well. So if you come across any Bing, pick them up and list them. Her mom had her lobotomized. Oh my God. Yeah, that's awful. Oh, this is what I want to show you. My kind of canned description. The sheet music may have wear, rips, tatters, and may have a split, center seam, or other issues due to its age, which should be expected, but it will be complete and fully playable. Never had anybody complain about them. And this one's in really good condition, as you can kind of see. Look at that. Beautiful. Who else do we have? We got Bing, we got Marx Brothers, we got Francis Farmer, we got Gary Cooper. Remember I was saying before, I just want to show everybody this, not because it's valuable. Alabama Moon. There are so many songs. Like every state has a song about the moon over, moon over Miami, moon over Arkansas, Alabama Moon, Louisiana Moon. One Sweet Day. How old is this one? I don't even know how old this one is. It looks pretty old. 1920 is this one, guys. So the Alabama Moon song from 1920. Not a stunning image or anything, but cool enough. What else we got? This one's good because of who's in it. See that? Jeanette MacDonald, Nelson Eddy, John Barrymore, famous Barrymore, legendary Barrymore acting family. Got the music, got the piano, and this one has guitar transcription because I play guitar, so I know, and piano. And then on the back, it's promoting some other songs by the same publisher, G. Schirmer. Jeanette MacDonald was a big star. Nelson Eddy was a big star. So this is a tune from a film. Nelson Eddy was a huge star, actually, in that. Yes, exactly. State-centric. That's a great way to put it. Famous show, Nelson Eddy and Jeanette MacDonald. Yep. So that should do well. I think that's only $16. I only paid, seriously, we bought 300 or something for $30, I think, $40. So do the math. No South Carolina moon, Jeff? That's not right. Moonshine. There you go. Hey, if you write music, it might be time. Moon over South Carolina. Moon over Columbia. This one is groovy because of the nature of it's island music, Song of the Islands. Nelly ho I. Waltz song, you see that often too. This is from 1930. Just the coolness of it. So pre-statehood. Hawaiian waltz song. Of course, you got the ukulele if it's in Hawaii, right? There's your artist. But, the image is kind of cool. If somebody's... I sold... I think I showed this on a What Sold video. 78 record box set with like 3 or 4 records in it. And it was all songs of Hawaiian music. It sold a couple weeks ago. So that stuff definitely sells. Collectible. Island stuff is collectible. Sought after. What else we got? This is fun doing something a little bit different on the show, showing different items. Oh, did we mention Shirley Temple earlier? Why do I have Shirley Temple written in this? Oh, because she's on the back. Look at that, everybody. This is why you look at the front and the back of all of the sheet music, because the original one is Lawrence Tibbett doing Under Your Spell. But if you flip through and look at the back, this is almost worth putting on the front. Movie Tone music, Movie Tone used to do in the movie theaters, they would show the, not commercials, but they would show like previews prior to the movie. You see Movie Tone News, very popular. You got the RCA building in New York, which I played in before. Radio City Music Hall, otherwise known as now. Illustrated with scenes from her pictures. So this is 1934. We're talking heyday for Shirley Temple. Great Depression going in full force at this point. Full throttle. So very cool. You got Shirley Temple. That should sell this one. So much so that I'm almost tempted to put the back cover on the front. And I think I might do that. It would make it sell quicker. For people that just, you have different types of buyers. You have visual buyers who just scroll through and look at pictures of everything, don't even read what it is. I think we've all experienced that with buyers not reading And that might be a good example of one because it's Shirley Temple. Is another early and great 19. What year were we in? 37, I believe it was. And the reason it's great is Duke Ellington is referenced in this one. Let me see where the heck Duke Ellington is. Right there. Look at that. The hit parade. And it has all these different names of individuals. And on there is Duke Ellington, the legendary. Good night, Jeff. Thanks for joining. I'm so glad your mom's okay. And start working on a Moon Over South Carolina song for everyone. The world awaits it. Duke Ellington, given like very low billing on this, so it must be an early Duke Ellington. Enough so that I wanted to kind of highlight that for this one. What other cool ones do we have? Carolina Moon. Where'd Jeff go? Carolina Moon is a legendary song. I agree. Sir Duke. 1928, apparently we have a Carolina Moon. So maybe Jeff is still around. I don't know if he signed off yet, but I'm smelling false information being sent out about never had a... I'm just kidding. Hey, 1918. What did we say about World War I? War Edition. Bam. I'm Sorry I Made You Cry by June Elvidge. And here's an advertisement for Saturday Evening Post. Send your copy to your boy over here or over there. So this is World War I paraphernalia here. What year are we looking at? 1918 piece of sheet music. I listened to sheet music last night called Santa is Using Zebras Now. That's kind of hysterical. Later, Jeff. What about oh, that's North Carolina. I knew you would chime in. No problem. That's hysterical. Using zebras. Not even sure what that means. But anyway, here's World War I. Do you see what I mean about certain things? Like there are elements, just like in the print ads, there are elements in the sheet music that are more important than the song itself or even the artist. Like you have a World War I angle. The other one where Duke Ellington is kind of buried in the bottom. A really early example of what did we just say? The movie star, kind of pre-fame being mentioned. Those are all really good things to throw out there. Guy Lombardo. There's a lot of Guy Lombardo stuff out there. He used to do the New Year's Eve shows before Dick Clark became famous with that. I guess you get the gist. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else really famous that we can pull out. A lot of World War I stuff again. Clark Gable. And Jeanette MacDonald. Winter Crow's Girl. Pretty cool. Clark Gable. The King of Hollywood for many years. Is from 1936. So we're talking Gone with the Wind, Clark Gable. Singing from the film San Francisco. The famous song, Would You? So there's two legends of the silver screen. Something you want to pull out of your stash and get up on eBay or Etsy or wherever else you like to sell your stuff. So that's a good one too. Two legendary actors and actresses. This one's kind of cool. Everybody remembers Morton Downey, the Morton Downey show, the silly gimmicky talk show thing a few years ago. Well, this is his dad, Morton Downey Sr., who turns out was a music guy. I remember he used to talk about his dad a lot too. Well, this is Morton Downey Sr. singing a song called Now You're in My Arms. Pretty cool. So the novelty of this one is it's Morton Downey. For those of you who remember the Morton Downey Jr. show, this is his dad in 1931. Let's see, is anybody else really cool? You know, I'm pulling out ones that are, you know, either famous people. Oh, this one's kind of cool too. 1932, Maurice Chevalier. Thank heaven for little girls, right? Legendary. Frenchman. Myrna Loy, Jeanette MacDonald again. But here, Maurice Chevalier. Sporting, of course, the French hat. And that is the sheet music for it. Richard Rodgers, very famous creator of music. Rodgers and Hart. There's Maurice Chevalier. That's a good one. You need heat. Your furnace is broken. It's 70 degrees out, Winnicrow. What do you need her heat for? Get this lady a fire. 91. Oh my God. Where are you? We're basking in 70 is like, we haven't seen 70 in so long. It's been freezing. And why are you cold? Winnicrow? Well, it's 67 now. It's still very, very mild for this time of night. Where are you, True Miscellany? Don't say fire. Well, yeah. Yeah, let's rephrase that. A controlled fireplace? Might have been 68 here today. Yeah. Well, Maurice Chevalier, another very famous guy. So hopefully everybody gets the idea there with the sheet music. Cool thing to have. Like I said, it's not going to fly off the shelf. Don't expect it to sell the day after you list it. But if you get, I only have 100 and something listed. I probably have about another 100. It's the kind of thing that I could see if you had a couple of thousand listed, you'd probably sell a good amount of them. West Kentucky. Okay, very cool. Wow. 91 degrees, my God. In May, that's an ominous sign, huh? Yeah, well, maybe we will list some. I'll do a listing show with some sheet music. I'll scan them in. She was better insulated, but the house is usually cold. Lots of shady trees. Ah, your furnace is broken. Yeah, we need to get that rectified, Winnicrow. Thank God it's not November. You know what I mean? And you would have a whole winter ahead of you. But at the same time, let's get that fixed. Does that sound interesting, though, guys? Maybe we'll do a music show. Maybe Friday. Tomorrow should be the return, hopefully, of Don the Auction Professor. I think he's coming back. I'm not positive. If he doesn't, I might even go on again. But if he is on, obviously, I want to watch his show, and I won't be on. But Friday we might be able to. You need to try to get a good 100 piece of sheet music. Yeah. And you would enjoy it, rootin' cool. We'll do the same kind of thing. I'll scan a bunch of them. We'll go through them. We'll look for some of those things we talked about, you know, be it the Irving Berlin thing. Obviously the name of the song, obviously the artist. We'll just kind of take a look at the different artwork that's presented on the covers. But as you saw with that other one, don't be afraid to flip it over, because who was on the other side of that one? And I'm actually gonna fix that listing and put her on the front. But Shirley Temple was on the back of one of my print ads. Excuse me, I keep saying print ads. One of my sheet music pieces. So I think I will go in and modify that and make the back the front for the purposes of drawing in people to little Shirley Temple. Guy came out for me as a GS. His furnace is getting no power, but he kicked it on. Then it stopped again last night. Ugh. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes, please. That's awful. At least, thank God, it's not freezing. You always run into sheet. Yeah, I've come across a lot too. But again, I don't, to each their own, but I wouldn't buy one-offs of that stuff. I would definitely grab stacks, as many as you can get at once for as cheaply as you can get, because you're going to find a lot of duds, like a lot of just basic stuff. But you could say most of the stuff I have, like I said, is probably, most of mine is from the late, same thing, like kind of similar to the print ads, mostly from the very late 1890s to the 40s or so. Is about the newest one I have. It doesn't mean that's all that sells. I mean, there might be a bunch of, sheet music that's much more contemporary that sells too. But I like the old stuff. I like vintage stuff. And I think from an art point of view, that's the kind of stuff that's more likely to be purchased to hang on a wall or something. Kickstart your career in sheet music reselling. There you go. Yeah, maybe we'll get a second career going now. We got print ads. Now we're going to have the sheet music. But they're all over the place. You can come across sheet music. Almost every flea market, every antique mall has them. Sometimes they're not advertised well. They might be in the back in a box on the floor. Even like record stores that sell records, you might find a bushel of sheet music. Again, be careful though, because it's a paper product, just like the magazines are. Be careful that there's no mold on them. Obviously, be careful that they're not. Even though I said condition is not as important as it is with the print ads, you still don't want to. If it's ripped apart, you're probably not going to sell it unless it's some crazily collected thing like a Marx Brothers thing. Church sales, that's a good one too. True Miscellany, yes, they're good for sheet music. Even estate sales, you'll find some. We found this one on good old Facebook Marketplace. Don't be afraid to use. That's where we found my 650 some odd lot of Life magazines was a Facebook Marketplace advertisement in Pittsburgh, and we drove out there. You've heard the story, 6 hours, and came back with this, mother load of Life magazines. I never would have known about that if my wife didn't find it on Facebook. And same thing with the sheet music. She found this lot of like 350 pieces from just some old lady that lived in our town and got rid of a ton of sheet music. But I've come across it everywhere we go. We've seen them in estate sales. We've seen them in antique malls. We've seen them. Church sales is actually a really good one. Mel Bay. My first guitar book was a Mel Bay guitar book. Mel Bay Guitar Method, Volume 1. I taught myself. Online auctions, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to run against the resellers, so they're going to try to get more money than, you want to look for, like I said, record. Don't be afraid to look in a place like where Winter Crow is, where she has like, an antique mall, but hers is an outdoor antique mall. Look in people that sell records in an antique mall, let's say. Look in the back, look in the corner. Sometimes it's just like stuffed underneath a stack of records. You could definitely find some of those. You'll find it has a bolo. Look for Jehovah songbooks. They sell very well. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, there's so many things to sell. Isn't it amazing? But I like simple, easy, a scan for me. Again, scan front and back. It takes a minute. They ship for almost nothing. They're very easy to ship. And they kind of have that same, not as much as the print ads. I was going to say they have a historical thing. They do to an extent. I love music, so obviously for me, seeing like a 1931 Bing Crosby is just cool unto itself because it's a 1931 Bing Crosby. But there's a lot to learn from that too. And again, my collection has a lot of Broadway shows and then movies later on. I will tell you, a major bolo, if you see any Marx Brothers, in general, Marx Brothers music is going to be good, but look to see, especially based on the age, if it's pre-30s, they didn't make any films. I think 1929 was their first film. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Tuck Soup, 29, 30, something like that. But if you're in the 20s or even the teens, you'll see Marx Brothers in the teens. And it's like, Duck Soup, but it's the Broadway production of it from 1914 or something. Definitely want to grab those if you ever come across them. They're not going to be out there every day, but you will find them if you keep looking. Yeah, we will definitely do the next listing show will be if not the whole show, at least a portion of it will be devoted to some of the sheet music I still have that I haven't listed. Yes, I agree, Deal Finder. It does. Yep. I love old paper too. Yeah, Winter Crow, I would love some Chinese food, and I am pretty much starving. It's 9 o'clock. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up again with such short notice and turning it into a 3-hour extravaganza. I appreciate it. I will be back certainly Monday night for my chat show at 7 p.m. with Travis. We'll be back for that one. So we'll do the Worth Point thing, and we'll look up some items. So if you guys have anything you'd like to look up for free on Worth Point, let us know, and we will take a look on the chat show on Monday. Today is, again, Wednesday. I might be on Friday. If Don is not on tomorrow, I might come back tomorrow. If he is on, I'll probably come back on Friday, and we'll take a look at some sheet music, all right? I want to thank everybody for coming in. Please give a thumbs up. I always forget to say that. on the video, I'd really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm within YouTube to promote the video. If you haven't subscribed yet to your channel, please take the opportunity to subscribe, and do make sure that that notification bell icon is listed, because as we've seen tonight, if I jump on with really short notice, you won't know until, if you don't get the notification. So please just go ahead, if you are subscribed, check to see if you've clicked that little bell notification in the top right of my page. I will see everybody